Welcome into the era of AI. Hello there and welcome. In this particular lecture, we're going to introduce you to what you can expect from the course, as well as how this course is organized, so that you know what to do and how much you need to wait for you to acquire this skill. So the course is using ChatGPT and CapCut to create an AI Hollywood movie on a budget. And when we said that, we really meant it, because this is what this course is about. At the end of it, you're going to be equipped to create your own movie. I have to tell you that this is pre-Sora. We're not going to use Sora AI because Sora is still not out here. But when Sora basically comes to reality, it's going to be a game changer. You know why? Because the best AI tools in the world today can only generate 4 seconds worth of video, right? AI or Sora by OpenAI is going to be able to generate 1 minute, not just 1 minute. It's going to be much more realistic and actually looking even more realistic than reality itself. That's according to what we saw as videos on OpenAI, or we call them video samples. Now, here's how this course is going to be planned. We're going to get started by introducing you to ChatGPT. So ChatGPT is what we're going to utilize to generate the script, as well as in a major way, it is the brain behind the video. So I have to introduce you to it. I also have to introduce you to the ChatGPT phone app, which, believe me, is amazing. And for one reason is because on the phone app, you can actually talk to ChatGPT. You can talk to it and it can generate images for you. It can generate anything you want, right? And you can do it while talking to it instead of typing, which can sometimes take more time. We're going to introduce you to Leonardo AI, which is a tool that we use to create motion. Motion in this case is video, right? So the video footage that you've seen in the video, in major part, we have used Leonardo AI motion feature. And pretty much, we're going to introduce you to Runway ML, which can also generate videos based on text, as well as Pika Labs, which can also generate videos based on text. So 3 options are out there for you. And for me personally, I use all 3 of them because I have a membership in all 3 of them. But in your case, go with the one that is good according to your budget. I would say Leonardo AI is less expensive and can generate much more. In the second order, Runway ML. Third order, Pika Labs. Leonardo AI is much more complete because it can generate images, videos, and a lot of things, of course. Leonardo AI is a 12-hour course in and by itself. I cannot talk about it in 2 seconds, but I'm going to introduce you to the very tool that we use for the sake of creating an AI Hollywood movie on a budget. Runway ML is another great tool. It's actually more than great if you get to learn how to use it. It's complex, but it's great. And it's also, if you want to generate videos, I think you can generate them under the free trial just to get your first videos. But generally speaking, if you want to create something such as the project that I've shown you, which is a 5-minute video, you're going to have to switch to the Pro plan. Now, Pika Labs is another great tool, right? Pika Labs is great. It can generate video based on text, and we're going to introduce you to it. And like I said, go with whichever one of them you like. Then we're going to introduce you to CapCut. CapCut is the software that's going to help us put everything together: video, audio, sound effects, music, and also to add the captions to the video, add effects, and also add transitions. And when it comes to voiceover, we need an AI tool to do the voiceover for us because we're not going to be uttering the voiceover. We need some robot that sounds human to utter the voiceover. For instance, in the video that you've watched, that is an AI voiceover. We need sound effects and music, and I'll show you how you can get those from Pixabay, which is a free platform. And the good thing is that you can get these copyright free, so you will not have any issues regarding any copyright whatsoever. And then I'm going to introduce you to ChatGPT to generate the script. Already, there is a lecture at the beginning, which is introducing you to ChatGPT interface. But then again, I will show you a prompt, a special prompt that I personally would use, and I would give it to you for free if you stick around for the course. And you can use that prompt, customize it, to generate a script for any movie you want. Now, Runway ML, or after that, we're going to go and introduce you to how you can use Runway ML, Leonardo AI, Pika Labs For B-roll creation, when I say B-roll, I want you to always think video. B-roll is video footage. A video of 10 seconds can be composed of a lot of B-roll or just one B-roll. When I say that, I mean it can be a video composed of multiple small videos with some transitions. It can also be just one video of 10 seconds. That is the meaning of B-roll. Audio is audio. So there is B-roll, there is audio, and all of those are important in the creation process of a video. Now then again, at the end, we're going to go and take everything that we've created. We're going to take the voiceover. We're going to take the sound effects. We're going to take the music. We're going to take the videos that we create with the AI tools, Leonardo, Pika Labs, and Runway ML, and we're going to plug them into CapCut, and we're going to edit them nicely into a refined AI movie. When I say AI movie, it's not going to be 6 hours. Of course, you can make a 1 hour video if you want. That's going to take you a lot of time, but definitely with the teachings in this course, that's something you can shoot for if you want to do it. But we're going to show you the skill, the craft, and that's pretty much it. So right now, as we introduce you to what you can expect from the course, the next lecture is going to be about ChatGPT and an introduction to ChatGPT. Stay tuned for that one because that is crucial. ChatGPT is a crucial element of your video creation skills. And I want you to go and make sure that you focus for the next lecture. Passive Income Gen Z wishing you the best and signing out. Welcome into the era of AI. Hello there and welcome back into the course. In this lecture, I'm going to introduce you to ChatGPT. So without further ado, let's get right into it. So first thing is first, there's a lot of other LLMs. We call them large language models. ChatGPT is not the only one, but it is the best. And by far, it is better than any other LLM, no matter what they say in blogs. I can honestly tell you. And first and foremost, you might be thinking, who are you to tell us that? Maybe you don't trust my credentials. That's completely okay. And I think I have to mention my credentials. So I've basically been online for the past 6+ years, doing digital marketing for all that time. And I've been around the block and did a lot of things online. And I can honestly tell you that I've used ChatGPT for about 1.5 years now, ever since it came out. And I can tell you that there is no comparison between it and others. Gemini, which previously was Google Bard, by the way, and they just changed the name, thinking that maybe they're going to get some traction or they're going to get viral, but it didn't happen. So nobody really cared about Gemini. Claude AI is good. Copilot is good. Perplexity is good. All of them are good, but they don't come close to ChatGPT. All encompassing, of course. Now, there are tools that are better than others. For example, Gemini is better in code or with coding. Claude as well. But in comparison with the overall features, ChatGPT is the best. All right. So here are just some success stories just to inspire you about this tool. Is that, for instance, the book that you're looking at right here, it's called The ChatGPT Millionaire. I'm not promoting it by any means whatsoever. But here's the thing. This book was written by Neil Dagger, or the person here in this particular in that demonstration. And the reason why I'm bringing this book is because inside of the book, the person that wrote the book has actually mentioned that he used ChatGPT to write the book. So in there you can see tools I used to write this book aside from ChatGPT, Jasper AI, of course, which is let's just say it's not as great. It had a lot of hype because it came before ChatGPT, so it was pretty early, but it's in nowhere compared to ChatGPT. Now, this is just some success story because this book has 3,000+ reviews, which tells me that this person has probably generated around $100,000 from this book. And yeah, that's because only 3% leave any reviews if they do, and the book sells for $12.99 as a paperback, and you make most of that, so you can do the math. Now here, that's just for inspiration. So what is the definition of ChatGPT? It is an advanced AI chatbot that understands and generates human-like text based on the input it receives, making it useful for conversations, answering questions, and creating content. So it's basically a human mind on steroids. That's what I'm going to say. So you just type whatever it is you want to type. Now you can talk to it on the phone. We're going to view that. And here's another definition. ChatGPT is an AI language model, LLM, designed to understand and generate human-like text based on the input it receives, enabling it to engage in conversations, answer questions, and provide information across a wide range of topics. By the way, when they keep saying, or when I keep saying, based on the input, I mean that because it's incredibly important that you pay careful attention to the input that you put to ChatGPT, because it's going to answer according to that input. So if your input is great, it's going to give you a great response. It's going to give you what you want. So you have to be more detailed in your prompt in order to get the best results. Now, the company behind ChatGPT is called OpenAI. They didn't only create ChatGPT, so they created DALL-E 2 before, which is an image generation model. And they created ChatGPT as we know it today. They also created DALL-E 3, which is a advanced model compared to DALL-E 2. And the best thing is that they have taken DALL-E 3 and integrated it with ChatGPT. So it used to be that we couldn't generate images with ChatGPT, but now that they introduced DALL-E 3 inside of ChatGPT, you can generate images inside of ChatGPT. So how awesome is that? Now, soon enough, OpenAI is going to introduce Sora, which is capable of creating as much as 1 minute of video footage of anything you want based on a text prompt. Now, there are multiple versions of ChatGPT. There is GPT-4 Plus, which is the paid plan. There is GPT 3.5, which is free. You can use it for free. And there is GPT-4o. GPT-4o is the advanced version compared to GPT-4. And the good news is that it is for free because ChatGPT or OpenAI made it free for everybody to use with one limit, of course, which is the ability to not generate images. So you'll not be able to generate images with it, but you'll be able to do pretty much everything else that it can do. It's generating images is only reserved to pro users. Also, when I say you can use GPT-4o, and it is more advanced than GPT-4 Plus, you can use it, but you can use it only for a limited amount of time. So it's not like you can use it all day long. You'll be allowed to use it, but you'll not be allowed to use it all the time. So here, there's good news. This is an email I received, I think, about 4 days ago from OpenAI. And they said, we're reaching out because you've built a GPT and shared it in the GPT store. We recently announced that all ChatGPT free users would soon be able to use GPTs. So what this tells is that you can use the GPT store even as a free ChatGPT user. What that means is that you can use the applications created by creatives like myself in the GPT store. And I'm not going to talk about the GPT store. That's not the course for that. But I just want to give you an example. Let's say you want to create a presentation, a PowerPoint presentation. You don't have so much time. You only have 2 minutes. You want to create a 10-slide presentation for a job, not an interview, let's say for a presentation at work about any topic. Now, with these GPTs, things that they can do is miraculous things. You can be able to create an entire PowerPoint presentation in just 1 minute with a prompt. When I say an entire PowerPoint presentation, I mean an entire PowerPoint presentation. Everything. Right, including the images on the slides, including the text, including the background, everything from scratch with just one prompt and a click of a button. And of course, there are GPTs that are capable of creating images, logos, that are capable of creating YouTube thumbnails, YouTube banners, capable of writing anything you want, capable of creating incredible Facebook ad content. Anything you desire is already out there. And you can go and check these GPTs out in the GPT store. Now, the limitations and capabilities are important to understand. So GPT 3.5 is the free GPT plan. You can use it for free, but it can only process text input. And you're limited. So if you go over 1 hour of usage, most likely you're going to be asked to wait for another amount of minutes or hours before you can use it again. If you want to upgrade, there's the Pro membership. It costs $20, but it gives you access to everything. And also, it gives you access to unlimited use of GPT 3.5, which means you can use GPT 3.5 24/7 with no stoppage. It gives you access to GPT-4, which can generate images. It's much more advanced than GPT 3.5, but still, even though you get access to it, but it's limited. You cannot use it for 24/7 like you could use GPT 3.5 under the Pro membership, right? And this model is capable of generating images, and it's capable of a lot of other things. Not only is it capable of generating images, it's also capable of processing images. So if you have some images, you can upload them to GPT-4, and you can ask ChatGPT to provide you with the description of that image. It could be that, let's say you're stuck in some place in a city and you don't know your way out. You can actually take a picture of where you are, send it to GPT-4, and then you can ask it, where exactly am I? I want to get to this location. Can you actually show me the itinerary in Google Maps of how I can get there? And it can go ahead and do that for you. It can also process Excel spreadsheets, PDFs, Word docs, and so on and so forth. And it has vision. What vision means is it's, let's just say, an image. You take an image. As human beings, when we look at that image, we don't necessarily see everything in that image. As a matter of fact, you'll be surprised that we only see about 5% of what is in the image, even though we like to think that it's otherwise. We like to think that we see the full picture, but we don't. Because we don't have the vision that these AI large language models have. Vision means it sees everything, which means if you give it an image, the minutiae, the slightest details are not going to be missed by that tool. So chances are there is a sign that you haven't seen in that particular image, for example. The LLM ChatGPT is going to notice that and it's going to tell you, well, did you pay attention to that sign 50 meters above? So it really is amazing. Vision is amazing. Plus the ability to synthesize large amounts of data. You can provide it with files such as Excel, PDF, spreadsheets, Word documents. A book of 500 pages doesn't matter, and it can summarize all of that in 10 words if you want it to do so. Remember, your prompt is everything. So if you say summarize this book in 10 words, it is going to do so. If you say summarize this book in 10 bullets, it is going to do so as well. So it depends on what you want. Now, the GPT-4 capabilities extend beyond what we have seen. GPT-4 can browse the web with Bing. The reason why I'm saying this is because when ChatGPT came out, there was only one version. It was GPT 3.5, and there was not even a pro plan. It was free for everyone to use. Plus, it was not capable of browsing the web. It was static, means it was programmed up to a specific amount of data. And it didn't know pretty much anything else more than the data it was provided. When it first came out, it was basically programmed, I think, at around data of 2021, maybe January, February, or March. That was the limit of its knowledge. Then, when they came up with GPT-4, they made a contract with Bing to actually browse the web with Bing, which means that ChatGPT now knows everything, including what happened right now at this very moment. So it became, or GPT-4 is a dynamic model. It knows pretty much everything. It's not limited by a specific amount of data because it can go ahead and learn from data from all over the world and the search engines. With the help of DALL-E 3, the image generator, or the model that can generate images, like I said, the precursor of that is DALL-E 2, ChatGPT is capable of generating images, right? And it's only capable of that under the Pro membership. And of course, advanced data analysis is also something you get access to. If you want to know what advanced data analysis is, it's the ability of doing something like this, such as generating charts like these. All of these were generated using the GPT-4 version because it has access to advanced data analyses. And these are all charts that would take a data scientist to create. ChatGPT can do them without breaking a sweat. Now, GPT-4o capabilities, which is good news, you can use it for free. You can use it, but you cannot generate images with it, but you can use pretty much every other feature. Now, it is faster than GPT-4, better than GPT-4 Plus. That's surprising because I paid $20 for that. But you cannot generate images with it for free. That's the only downside. And you get access to it for free, but you cannot generate images with it for free. It is capable of everything that GPT-4 is capable of and more, right? So it is more advanced and faster. I had to mention that GPT-4, not 4o, 4 is the slowest version. It is greater than GPT 3.5, but it is the slowest. Now, the Plus plan will cost $20 per month. I personally have the Plus plan. And by the way, it's a shame because the team plan was $25 for 3 people. Now it's $25 per person. So you can see that they're getting more expensive. Now, you can customize your ChatGPT version by adding information about yourself. We will see that later. But here I'm just warming you up. You can customize it. So for example, if you want to come across as a movie director, go ahead, provide as many details as you need about a specific movie director, put them there, and put how would like ChatGPT to respond, and it will take that particular persona in all the chats. Then there's also the ChatGPT settings, which we're going to view. So right now, and without further ado, let's go ahead and practice all of this. So here we are in the ChatGPT interface. Whenever you are at ChatGPT, you'll notice that this is how it looks like. If you want to toggle between the GPT versions, you can just click here and toggle back and forth in between versions. You can get started by clicking on any one of these starter prompts. You can click and it will start reacting immediately to your prompt by generating a response. Now I'm setting this to GPT-4o, so it will give me a response in GPT-4o, the newest and most advanced model. And you can see the response here. And I just have to wait. You can pause it at any time by clicking pause if you want it to pause. And here you can upload documents by clicking on this. You can upload documents from your computer. Like I said, you can also connect to Google Drive, connect to Microsoft OneDrive, and so on and so forth. If you would like ChatGPT to spell the response, read it aloud, you can click here.
Sure, I'd be happy to help. Here are some tips and recommendations for colors and outfit options that look great on camera. Colors. 1. Solid colors.
You can stop it. You can also copy everything in bulk by copying like this, or you can just go ahead and target something and copy it individually. You can also regenerate, in which case if you don't like this response, you can click regenerate and it will generate another response for you. You can dislike a response if you didn't like it, and you can click right here to change the model. Automatically, if you switch the models, for example, if I click on GPT-4 right here, it's going to regenerate another response. This time it's going to generate it using GPT-4, not GPT-4o, even though here I'm still setting it to GPT-4o. So that overrides the GPT-4o model. Now I'm going to click here to pause. When you pause a response, you can see that after you generate a second variation, and you see over here how many regenerations. So 2, right? Because we have generated the first response, then generated the second. So we generated this twice, the same prompt. And if you liked it, you can say, I like it. And you can also always change the model. Here, you notice that your chat will always take a name based on your first prompt. Photo shoot outfit tips. It's because we have said, I have a photo shoot tomorrow, right? Would you like to give me some colors and outfit options, da, da, da. And so it went ahead and named this according to this. But you can actually click here and rename this anytime you want, anything you want. So for example, if you want to rename this as, I don't know, maybe photo shoot, let's just say, and you can add the date 6/3/2024, for example. And if you want to start a new chat, you can just click here on start a new chat, in which case it's going to start a new chat. And here you can click on your name right here. Normally you'll find it either here or here. And you can see your plan. You can see your GPTs if you have created any. I have created 40 at this moment. You can customize ChatGPT by adding data about any persona you want it to take. And for example, let's say you wanted to take the persona of Quentin Tarantino. You can say that, and you can come over here. And the more data you add, the better it is, because they provided you with 1,500 500 characters to add. And you can set like it to respond as a Hollywood director. And if I click save, notice right now it's going to be the norm. So if I say hi, it's going to take the persona of Quentin Tarantino. Hello, Hamza, how I can assist you? Well, I'm going to say generate a movie script about westerns. Let me pause for a second. See, when you pause, it stops, and you can also edit your prompt. So if you made a mistake or you want to add something, you can edit your prompt. So I'm going to add an S and a dot, and I'm going to hit send again, in which case it's going to go back again and start regenerating a response. And you can see here in the style of Quentin Tarantino, it's going to go ahead and generate a movie script for us. And the title of this movie is Dust and Honor. Now, let's actually pause this for a second. Let me show you something interesting. I'm going to say generate a promotional design for the movie. How about you generate a, actually, let me pause. I'm going to say promotional poster. I'm going to edit promotional poster for the movie. Notice that right now is going to go ahead and generate a promotional poster for our movie that we have just had an idea to create. So you see it's using DALL-E 3, which is, like I said, the model that is capable of generating images. and I only have access to it because I have the Pro membership. Now you see that this is the poster, Dust and Honor. I don't know about you, but I think this is awesome, right? So Dust and Honor, you can see it here, you can see it there, you can see the movie poster. If you didn't like this, you can say, for example, the poster must be landscape size and must be black and white. For example, let's say you don't want any colors whatsoever. You want it to be black and white, but you also want it to be landscape size, meaning you want it to take a frame rather wider than the height, right? That's usually the size of a computer screen or a TV screen. And here it is. Again, Dust and Honor, black and white right now. And you can see that it's really amazing. In the heart of the Wild West, the past never stays buried. Now, it's not perfect when it comes to writing, but remember that if you have access to DALL-E 3, you can edit. So, for example, you can click on this selector, you can select a specific area, and you can go back there and you can say erase the text, and you can hit send, in which case it's going to go ahead and proceed. You can always click on ChatGPT or reload the ChatGPT on the browser so that you can see it like this. Now, when it comes to the settings, you can click on the settings from here. And if you'd like the theme to be light, you can change it to light. You can change it to dark or system. System is light as well. I'm going to keep it dark. If you want to show code, anytime you're using Data Analyst, you can click here to show the code. I would like you to leave language to auto detect because just in case you're talking to it in Chinese, it's immediately going to know that you're talking in Chinese. So just keep it as auto detect. Archive chats, or for example, let's say that you have a chat. You have worked so hard on the chat. You've added a lot of data and variables, and you don't want to lose the chat. And because ChatGPT, they basically will erase all your chats that are more than 30 days. So if there is chats that are more than 30 days in the history, they're going to be erased immediately. If you don't want them to be erased immediately, you can click on a specific chat, and you can go click archive, in which case the chat is going to be archived and no longer here, but you can go back to settings. And the moment you can go and click on Manage Archive Chats. And guess what? Here is your chat. You just have to click on it, and it will show you your chat. This way you can keep chats that you deem necessary for day-to-day tasks, such as applying for job offer. For example, I used to apply a lot for job offers on Upwork. So I had a chat specifically to apply for job offers because I just programmed it a lot with a lot of prompts. So it was a shame if I lost it. So I had to make sure I have it somewhere. So for those types of things, you can keep your chats archived for you to find them anytime you want. And you can unarchive it anytime by just clicking this simple button, and you'll notice it'll come back right here, right? Alien Discovery Expedition, for example. Now, if I click back here and I go back to the settings, now there's personalization. You can basically deactivate memory. Memory can be quite bothersome, especially when moving from chat to chat, because it remembers every past conversation, and sometimes it can give you responses that you may find weird. So sometimes if you want, you can actually switch the memory off. You can also switch the custom instructions off. For the speech, you can select any voice from these. The voice is the one that is going to talk to you on the phone, as well as the one that's going to spell your answers for you. You can go to data controls here, and you can manage your shared links, export your data, such as your chats. If you want to delete your account, you can delete it. The build a profile is important, is necessary if you want to start creating GPTs. You need to come over here, at least add your name, at least. You can add a link to your website. You can add a link to your LinkedIn, GitHub, and X, because that can help you get a lot of traffic. What do I mean by that? Very simple. If I were to actually go to Google, because I have to do this right now because I don't see the GPT store there. That's a glitch that happens. So if it happens for you as well, go to Google, search for ChatGPT, be redirected again, because we need to see a button here that says Explore GPTs. There it is. Now I've created a lot of GPTs: Startup Logo Fusion, Artist, Ad Wolf, Fit Guide Coach, Decision Navigator. All of these are GPTs of mine that I have personally created. And if you want to create a GPT, it's very simple. Click on Explore GPTs. And there's this button. You can click it to create a GPT. But most importantly, I'm not going to be showing you how to create a GPT right now. I'm just going to be showing you the GPTs themselves. So if I were to scroll down, you see a lot of GPTs. Every one of them is capable of a specific thing. For example, this one is capable of drawing diagrams. This one is Canva, so it's capable of helping you design for your Instagram posts and Facebook posts, Facebook ads. design logos. These ones are capable of writing for you. This one is capable of writing ads. This one is awesome, for example. It's capable of generating presentations. Let me show you an example. If I click on this particular GPT, you see how many conversations have been had with this GPT, as well as its ranking, reviews, and the website of the website owner. You see this person, they have made a great investment by creating a GPT because that gets them 300,000 plus conversations. You can imagine how much traffic that is and how much it would take if they wanted to drive that traffic to their website for free or with ads. So it's really free advertisement, to be honest. Now, if I use this GPT, I can say, well, make a presentation about the future of AI. And guess what? It's going to make a presentation for me, right? Now, not just this, it's going to make a presentation that I can actually download. So it's going to start by making slide number 1. I'm going to say allow. And it's going to give me the link to download slide number 1, right? So this is the link here, right? This is image, Okay, let's actually just wait a second. So you can see I'm going to say, okay, give me slide number 1, or give me the link to download slide 1. And right now it's going to get working, starting the action. Normally it should give me the link to download a professionally done slide. There it is. Not just that, it's also creating slide number 2. It's going to provide me with the link to it. But now let me just show you an example. If I were to click on view or download, it's going to take me here. And I will be able to download that particular slides in any format I want. Obviously, the format that people like is the PowerPoint format because it enables you to play the presentation on your computer. And guess what? You see that mouse over there. It is working for us right now. And here is our slide. There it is. And I can click download as PowerPoint or Google Slides or PDF. And guess what? Here's my PowerPoint. I can click. There it is. The image is from Unsplash, so it's copyright free. And yeah, it's amazing, right? It can generate presentations for you. Know that it's incredibly customizable. You can customize it. And here it is. Slide GPT. I can activate the modifications. Right, sorry for that noise. And here, if I want to modify anything, I can modify it. So for example, if I want to modify this, I can actually go ahead here, double click, edit. I can move this image around. I can go back and forth. And you can see that this is incredible, isn't it? So this is pretty much it for this particular lecture. This was a fair introduction to ChatGPT. Right now, let's go ahead and let me show you the phone app version. It's just amazing. The phone app version, which enables us to talk to ChatGPT, which is exactly what we're going to go ahead and do right now. Passive Income Gen Z wishing you the best and signing out. Welcome into the era of AI. Hello there and welcome back. In this lecture, I'm going to introduce you to the ChatGPT phone app, which I think is a primordial element to know in this day and age. If you don't know that the ChatGPT phone app enables you to talk directly to ChatGPT as if it was your friend, you're missing out. And this is what this lecture is all about. So this came as a huge update to me personally in the when they announced the ChatGPT 4.0. And that it's going to be free for most people, and that most people are going to be able to use it for free, except for they're not going to be able to generate images. But it's just amazing what you can do with this. You can quite practically use it to simulate a job interview if you want. Now, in order not to go astray from the topic of the course, which is creating an AI movie, but you can use ChatGPT to be your translator on your, let's just say, voyages around the world. You can take ChatGPT and program it to answer in your stead, whether that is in your voyages to China, India, whatever you want to go. I love India and I love the Indian culture. So what I'm going to do is we're going to make it our translator in Indian. So without further ado, let's actually go ahead and check this out. So I want you to focus with me for a second here. Let's forget about the slides for a moment. And I want you to go and take your phones, just like I have my phone here. And I want you to go to the Play Store, just the regular Play Store. Now, once you go to the Play Store, I'd like you to please search for ChatGPT. There's also the Gemini app over there, but I don't really like it so much. Now, here's the result that you're going to get. So here is pretty much what you're going to receive. Now, the first, just skip it. It's just a sponsored ad. Go for ChatGPT, which is installed by 50 million plus people with over 1 million reviews. at this moment. It's going to grow in the future, most definitely. Now I'm going to open it up because I already have it. And for one thing, if you want to talk directly to ChatGPT, notice that right there on the right hand side of your screen, there is that little icon of headphones. Let's talk right now. So if I actually were to click on that, it should show you, right, something like this. Give me a moment. Got it. Okay, so
Sure, take your time. Let
yeah.
me know how I can assist you when you're ready.
All right, so if I click on the button, it should actually show you something like this. And it's right now listening to me. All right, so if you're listening to me, ChatGPT, here is the thing. I'm talking to my Indian friend from India. I don't understand Indian. I don't understand how to talk Hindi, but I want to talk in Hindi, and I would like you to do the translations. Is that okay? So I'm gonna say what I'm gonna say to him in English, and then you translate that to Hindi. All right? Watch this.
Sure, Hamza, I can help with that. Go ahead and tell me what you want to say in English, and I'll translate it into Hindi for you.
Perfect. All right. So say, hello, how are you doing, my friend? I really appreciate that you took the time to come over here. I wish I could also come to India maybe next year. How are you doing?
Hello, Akash Mer Dost. Main both abari hun ki apyahan aaye hain. Main bhi agle saal baratane ki ishcha rakhte hun. Aap kaise hain?
All right. So now let's switch the conversation to Japanese. All right. So my friend is Japanese now.
Sure, Hamza. Just tell me what you want to say in English, and I'll translate it into Japanese for you.
Perfect. All right. So here's what I'm going to say. Hello, my friend. How are you doing? I'm such a fan of Japan and the history. I'm a huge One Piece fan, and I'm really a huge fan of the samurai culture. How are you doing, my friend? How was your flight?
Konnichiwa, Yujin. O genki desu ka? Watashi wa Nihon to sono rekishi no dai fan desu. Watashi wa One Piece no dai fan de, samei bunka ni mo taihen kyoumi ga arimasu. O genki desu ka? Flight wa ikaga deshita ka?
Perfect. You're really a great translator. All right, so now let's move on. Now here's the thing: what I'm going to ask from you. I want to create an AI movie, all right, and I want you to generate the script for an AI movie for me. I want it to be an AI movie about aliens and about the aliens invading the planet, and I want it to be a mixture of everything. You know, the planet is ruled by apes. It's the apes took the world and took over the world, and the aliens are going to come down, and human beings we're going to become the friends of the aliens in order to take down the apes and to actually split the earth together. So go ahead and write a script in the style of the best movie director in the world in the field, and the same movie director that created the movie Interstellar. Watch this.
Title: Interstellar Alliance. Fade in. Space. Day. We see a vast expanse of space, with stars twinkling and distant galaxies glowing. Suddenly, a massive alien spaceship emerges from a wormhole, heading toward Earth. Cut to Earth. Day. Earth is a dystopian landscape overrun by apes. The apes have built primitive yet imposing structures. Humans are scattered and live in hiding, struggling to survive. Cut to Human Hideout.
All right,
Day.
stop.
A small group of
Okay, you can stop it by clicking on the X button, in which case it's going to stop it. And you'll always get the text response. If you go to your text response, you can find it. If you actually were to swipe like this, you'll find all of your previous chats, and you can toggle down and up like this. And you can access your GPT store from there, as well as your settings. You can also take pictures. So for instance here, I have this brush in front of me. It's a brush that I use for writing, mainly for the courses. Uh, Now I'm going to take a picture. There's a camera over there, and you'll actually find you also have access to a camera. You can take a camera and picture your surroundings. Now I'm going to take a picture of this brush for image interpretation. All right, so I'm taking the picture right now. I'm going to click to take the picture. And I'm going to click OK. Done. Picture taken. Now here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to actually use the recording feature this time. So there's a recording button over there that you can click on. It's different than the chatting, right? Communicating directly to ChatGPT. It's just a recording instead of writing, because they know that on a phone it's harder to write, so they allowed us to record. So I'm going to click on the recording button. Hi, how are you doing? Can you please interpret this image and tell me what that is? And I can actually send by clicking like this, and that's pretty much it. and it's going to start to basically interpret that for me. So it says the image shows a close up of a hand holding a rectangular object with a yellow body and a black felt or sponge like material at one side. The object appears to be a whiteboard eraser, commonly used to clean dry boards by wiping off the marker ink. It's actually pretty smart. Now, you can upload anything else. You can upload images if you have them by clicking on the image option. You can upload dossiers or files, and your conversation is going to be here always. You're going to get access to it all the time, and you can also generate images from here directly if you have access to GPT Pro membership. So we can actually go ahead and ask it right now to generate an image of a poster of our movie. So I'm going to click to communicate. Hi, remember our AI movie about the aliens and apes and all of that? Can you generate a poster for our movie for promotional efforts? All right, listen up.
Here's the movie poster for Interstellar Alliance. I hope it captures the essence of the story and adds to your promotional efforts. Let me know if there's anything else you need. You can check out the images in our conversation history.
Perfect. So I'm going to cancel the conversation and let me show you the image of the movie. So here is the image of our supposed movie. All right. And I hope you went ahead and actually did the same thing. If you didn't like this image, you can always edit it using the editor inside of DALL-E 3. And or you can send another prompt saying, I didn't like this poster, generate another one. But this pretty much sums up this lecture about the phone version of ChatGPT. Without further ado right now, let's move on to the topic of the next lecture, which is the 6 ChatGPT prompt engineering strategies, as well as the ChatGPT extensions that make a lot of difference if you really want to use them. So we'll introduce you to all of them just so you can have everything you need. We're equipping you with everything. I could have created a course where I just jump straight into, well, here you just do this, this, but that would not be good professionally because it would mean that I was lazy with the information. I need to provide you the necessary information so that you can basically be equipped with everything you need. Without further ado, this is it for this video. Passive Income Gen Z wishing you the best and signing out. Welcome into the era of AI. Hello and welcome. In this lecture, I will introduce you to the 6 ChatGPT prompt engineering strategies for getting better results, as well as the ChatGPT extensions, which the first one is the APRM extension that gives you access to about 4,800 plus prompts. Plus, if you have the APRM Pro membership, it allows you to actually switch between the languages. And not just that, it allows you also, I think allowing you to switch between the languages is for free. But the only reason why I purchase it or I spend $20 extra on it every month is because of the simple fact that it allows me to switch tones and writing styles. More on that later, but there's another extension which is called ChatGPT for YouTube. This extension can transcribe an entire video. So imagine you can take a 6-hour podcast and transcribe it with this extension. Without further ado, let's get right into it. So first thing is first, let's start with the prompt engineering strategies according to OpenAI, which you can easily find them by going to Google and then simply searching for 6 prompt engineering strategies, right? So 6 prompt engineering strategies. The link by OpenAI is the good one. And here you'll basically get everything you need to understand about why these are important when you're phrasing your prompts. So the first strategy is writing clear instructions. When I say clear instructions, you have to make sure you include details in your query. When I say generate an AI Hollywood movie script about Titans, that's not a detailed instruction, isn't it? Because I just said AI movie script about Titans. I didn't mention how much time, which means the duration. I didn't mention if there is any characters in that movie, the names of these characters. I didn't mention where. I didn't mention details. I didn't mention who's the hero. I didn't mention the plots and schemes and I mentioned nothing there. So I just added a prompt. It's a vague prompt, which leaves ChatGPT a lot of space to fill with its imagination, or we should say with its information. So make sure that if you want to get a response that you like, that you add as much data as it would be necessary. Ask the model to adopt a persona. Remember, when I was talking to ChatGPT on the phone, I said to it to generate an AI script for a Hollywood movie, but at the same time, I said adopt the persona of Quentin Tarantino. So you can adopt the persona of Quentin Tarantino, quite frankly, adopt the persona of anyone. If you want to create a campaign, a marketing campaign, it would honestly be great if you adopt the persona of Gary Vee, The Rock, and all of these great marketers, right? Use the limiters. When I say use the limiters, make sure you limit your prompt. So when you say generate an AI movie script, here there is no limit to, first of all, the duration, how much, how many minutes. When you set a limit to the minutes, when you also set a limit to certain things, then ChatGPT is going to set a limit as well. If you don't set a limit, for example, if I say, write a book about the vegan diet or write a book outline about vegan diet, right? In this case, it's going to generate an outline, sure enough, but because I didn't specify how many chapters, how many subchapters, it's going to write everything it wants. I left it to use its own imagination. So don't leave it to its imagination. Make sure you limit it by giving the limiters specify the steps required to complete a task. For example, when writing a book, you might start by saying write an outline. After it writes an outline, you can say, well, now that you have the outline written, here's what I want you to do. We're going to take it step by step, and I want you right now to generate the first book's chapter. And you can say to it, well, after we generate the first book's chapter, I want you to ask me if I say yes, for you to go ahead and proceed to generate the second chapter. So pretty much, all of these things are very important to quote at the very beginning. Provide examples is incredibly important. For example, if you want to generate an image, and it might be that you're struggling to describe that image perfectly, it would be better off to provide it with that image itself and ask it, well, generate something similar in the same style. Of course, you have to pay careful attention to copyright. Now, ChatGPT is already protected against copyright because if there's anything copyrighted, it's going to refuse to cooperate with you. But in any case, you can always ask it to, you can find workarounds. That's what I'm trying to say. So if it says copyright, you can say, well, I didn't necessarily ask you to generate an image that looks exactly like that. I just want you to take inspiration. And that changes the whole thing. Now, specify the desired length of the output. Of course, we already said that. When you say write a script for a video, it's not like saying write a script for a 5-minute video. That's specificity. That's very detailed. Provide reference text. So for example, I'm working on a channel right now, which I'm not going to talk about what the channel is doing. It's a taboo subject that I'm trying to cure, that not many people would like to talk about. It's a problem in our society that many people don't like to talk about in this world of course, political correctness. But I took it upon myself to create that AI channel, and I'm creating it now. I'm really having a lot of fun doing so. And I've taken, in order to create that channel, I've studied about 3 books, to be precise, 3 books. Those 3 are scientific books, and basically they have a lot of science, about neuroscience, about all of that. And of course, I don't have time to sit there and tell ChatGPT, I've read this book and, it has this, and it says this about the dopamine system, and this is about the endorphins, and I don't have time to explain to it what serotonin is, what all of that stuff is. So I took the books, I plugged them into ChatGPT by uploading them, and I said, learn these books. That's all. I said, learn these books because I'm going to use the knowledge from these books in the future. And by providing it that, now it's easy for me because I can just do whatever I want. I can say, well, I want to create a 5-minute video based on what you learned from the book, create X video about X topic. And it goes and does that for me. Now here, split complex tasks into simpler subtasks. This is very important, especially if it's a large task, such as writing a book or creating something large as a project. Don't try to do it in one prompt. Just separate it. Do it slowly but surely, one step at a time. With we call it chain of thought prompting. Prompt more than once and until you get the result. Now give the model time to think. So many times you might pause the model. Don't never pause the model unless you want to change your prompt itself, the initial prompt. Leave the model time to think, and then when it generates the first response, you can rebuttal back, and you can actually say what you want to say. If you don't like the response, you can say, "I didn't like that response. That was not what I was looking for. Here's what you should do." Use external tools. Well, I'm not going to talk about APIs. Test changes systematically. That's very important. You need to test changes systematically. Every time you get a response, evaluate that response. If you like it, say yes. If you didn't like it, say no and why. And ChatGPT will go ahead and reiterate. Now, let me introduce you to APRM, the extension that I talked about. So if you go and look for APRM extension, this is the extension I'm discussing. Please, 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 I want you to be extra careful. Do not trust any other website, even aprm.com. Trust only the Chrome Web Store, right? And even then, there still could be some risks. That's why I have an antivirus. But hey, you don't have to install this extension if you're afraid that maybe it's going to cause you some issues. It's installed by 2 million people, 2,400 ratings. Not many people have reviewed this as with any other extension. So I'm going to add this extension. What this does, it gives you access to about 4,800 plus prompts, which is a whole wide library of prompts. To be honest with you, it's a huge library. And it can make your life easier. Now I'm going to enable APRM. I'm going to allow. Okay. And it's going to direct me to ChatGPT. And then from there, I can show you what this APRM extension actually does. So you see here that this is the ChatGPT interface. It's still nothing changed with it, right? But just wait a second. It's still loading. So in a second, it's going to transform entirely to a whole new setting. Notice, watch that. So here you can see that we have access now to 4,884 prompts. And these prompts, they can do a whole set of things. So if you are into writing blog posts and you don't want to, every time you don't want to say, well, I want to write a blog post about, or program it to know that you're writing a blog post, you can come here and click on this prompt. For example, this is a prompt that can write a human-written, 100% unique SEO-optimized article. It has been used 13 million times. So that's a lot of people that have used it. You can come over here and say, enter the keyword of what you want it to talk about. So you can say Kong versus Godzilla, for example. It's a movie that I like a lot. So here, for better results, and you can see it's starting to write a blog about Kong, or article about Kong versus Godzilla, the Ultimate Showdown. Here, you can see if I scroll down, it's going to start generating the outline, and then it's going to move directly to generating the text. But this is not the only prompt that there is. There's, like I said, 4,800 plus prompts, give or take. And it has been consistent. And prompts are getting added every time, or so it's going to keep evolving. And you can see here the article, right? So, introduction: the epic clash between King Kong and Godzilla is a cinematic event that has thrilled audiences for decades, and so on and so forth. And I can actually pause this for a second and always click here to go back to a new chat and explore the rest of the prompts, which I'll leave you to go ahead and do by yourself. There's a lot of prompts here for me to cover, but you can go ahead and explore all of these prompts. A lot of them are very useful, and they can do a lot of useful stuff. Many of these can actually make you money. Now that we talked about this extension, there's another extension which is called ChatGPT for YouTube. Now, this one I already have installed it, but I'm going to show you. If you can search, like I said, trust nothing but the Chrome Web Store. By the way, let me show you the dangers. So I have McAfee antivirus. I know how a lot of people feel about antiviruses, but let me tell you, an antivirus is better than not having an antivirus. But here's the thing. If I click on this second link here, the antivirus is immediately going to, well, in this case, it's going to flag this link. So you can see here it says, website status suspicious. This site looks like a little risky, so we flagged it just in case. Make sure you trust this site if you choose to proceed, and so on and so forth. So you can see that if it's not a trustworthy website, antivirus will really act very well. Now, the one that I have, or the extension that I have, is this one, ChatGPT for YouTube. There's also another one, but I have this one. It's installed by 100,000 people. And I already added it to Chrome. And here is how you can use it. Now, here, if you go to YouTube, well, we can take a video like this Joe Rogan podcast video extract, and we can click. So, for instance, I can actually go ahead over here and remove the sound. And you can see this is how this looks. So if I scroll down, now this is an ad, which I'm sick and tired of watching ads. I don't know if this is true for you as well, But YouTube have been showing us a lot of ads lately. It's not YouTube anymore. It's the Ad Hub. Now here, ChatGPT for YouTube is the extension I'm talking about. And it can summarize the entire video by clicking here. Or you can take the entire transcript of everything that was said in the entire video. Doesn't matter if it's a 10-hour podcast, 6-hour podcast. If you click, copy the transcript, you can go to a document and actually go ahead and place this in. And there it is. It's the script for the entire video. Everything that was said by these guys in that podcast, in that 7 minutes, everything that was said, including the title and the link to the video, are here. And this is something that you can use in case you want to start using this to generate YouTube shorts and so on and so forth. There's a lot of things you can do with this. Now, at any point in time, if you want to deactivate your extensions, just come over here. For example, if you want to deactivate APRM, you can deactivate it. But I still didn't show you everything about APRM, and my bad, because I'm going to show you right now. So let me actually just refresh my page. So for instance, if I want to switch the language of the output meaning the response. Let's say you want to give prompts in English, and you want to get responses in Arabic. Because I talk Arabic, I'm going to actually be the judge here to how good this is. So for instance, where's Arabic? Arabic. I'm not sure if it's here. Yep, there it is. So let's say, for example, that you want to sell a watch as a gift to housewives that they can give as a gift to their husbands. So I'm going to say, I want to create a landing page to sell a watch that housewives can give as a free gift to their husbands. All right, husbands in the Gulf countries. All right, let's say you're doing e-commerce in the Gulf countries, and I can say generate landing page sales copy. Now, I didn't give it the product. I just want to show you a dummy example and have a look at this. So this is Arabic. It's clearly good. I can honestly tell you it's absolutely amazing. Yeah, this is amazing, right? So, and you can see the responses in Arabic. It's not even in English. And you can see that it has generated the content for the entire landing page, right? Everything. So pretty much, this is really incredible. And without APRM, you'll not have access to switch the language from here of the output, by the way. So you can switch the language to any language you want, French, English, whatever it is that you want. I'll go back to English, and that's it. You can also use the tones. So these tones are really incredible. Default, authoritative, clinical, cold, confident, cynical, emotional, So I can actually be emotional. I can be expository, creative, and so on and so forth. So that's pretty much it. So this was it about ChatGPT. Let's move quickly and let me show you another tool. This one is called Leonardo AI. Welcome into the era of AI. Hello there and welcome. In this lecture, I would like to introduce you to Leonardo AI. Without further ado, let's get right into it. So let's go and discover this tool. So for instance, inside of the AI movie, I have used B-roll or scenes. Those scenes, I created them for the most part using Leonardo, Runway ML, and Pika Labs. This is an image that was created using Leonardo. And with a feature inside of Leonardo that I'm going to show you, you can take an image and actually transform that image into a motion. Here's an example. So here's the image turned into video. And you can see that looks like a motion over there happening. Now, of course, you can do this for as many images as you want, as long as those images were generated inside of Leonardo AI itself. Now, here are some other images, and I think that this is really Hollywood movies on a budget. Otherwise, we'll have to go to the moon to shoot these types of scenes. For example, this scene with an alien in it, and so on and so forth. This scene of a particular person looking like he's on the moon, and it looks realistic, right? So it is really an AI Hollywood movie on a budget. This, for example, looks like a spaceship, and this is a horror house. So it depends what movie you want to create. If you want to create a movie about some horror house, you can do so. And of course, as a bonus of this course, I'm going to teach you how you can do face swaps. Face swaps are not done with Leonardo, but Leonardo helps us generate a quality image, and then we can swap our face using Midjourney. So, for example, you see here, I'm traveling the entire world with AI, right? And I didn't have to go anywhere. I just stayed in my place, just with my picture, and I managed to go places. Now, here's another example of what face swapping can actually do. It's really amazing what you can do with the face swapping technology. I'll transfer that onto you, and you can actually use it to do whatever you want to do. So right now, and without further ado, let's go ahead and discover how the magic works inside of Leonardo AI. So here we are inside of Leonardo AI. It's leonardo.ai, and you can see that this is the website. You can already see some pieces of art here. You can click launch the app, in which case it's going to open the app like this. Now, the first thing that you're going to notice is that you have all these tools: image generation, real-time canvas, canvas editor, motion. Now we're only going to be using the image generation and the motion. That's it. Now the real-time generator and the other ones, we're not going to be using them. They have their usage though, and you can use them if you want. Now here, see that these people are generating some kind of images. For example, this is a Will Smith image, and see it looks like Will Smith. This is a Robin Williams drawing. Looks like a pencil drawing of Robin Williams, and so on and so forth. And you can see other people generating all sorts of stuff for all sorts of purposes. This is what we call the home feed, which shows you the creations of all the creators like yourself. The personal feed will show you the creations that you have created. For instance, this is my personal feed. This is what I created, and it's going to show me everything I've done, my history of creations. Now, if you want to generate images, you just need to click on image generator or image generation, in which case it's going to take you to the image generator, and you can start creating images from scratch. Now, this is the new image generator, so you can switch to legacy mode, which I'm going to do. If I click right here on legacy mode, this is going to switch me to legacy mode. It's going to do the same for you as well. I like legacy mode. I think it's better, more user-friendly than this. And this is the legacy mode. It changed. And you can go ahead and try to generate anything you want. So, for example, now you remember the Alien movie? Let's just say I want to generate an alien scene. So I'm going to say alien, right? Scary, dark, adults, alien, and I can hit the generate button. Now I'm putting this at 4 images, so this is going to generate 4 images for me. I'm using the photoreal model. I'm using Alchemy, which is a pro element. And the image dimensions, you can either control them from here, or you can actually customize them by writing whatever dimension you want to write. Of course, there is a limit, and if you extend over the limit, try using these advanced dimensions, which are in inches, not in pixels. Or, for example, if let's say your dimension is 3000 by 1500, make it a habit of dividing them by 2. So cut it to, instead of 3000 by 1500, you can cut it to 1500 by 750. It's going to keep it the same ratio, but it's not the same DPI, right? For those of you that want to know. So here, these are some horrible alien scenes. I'm sorry for showing you this horrible stuff, but now this is an image, right? So this is an image. Let's say that you want to turn this into video. I'm not sure how this is going to turn out. It might turn out horrible, but hey, let's just do it. Now here in the video, in the image, you can download it as it is. You can delete it, or you can click edit in Canvas, which is going to take you to the Canvas editor. Now the Alchemy upscaler is going to increase the quality of your image, and there's the motion feature. Now before I take you to the motion feature, in this case I've used the photoreal, Leonardo photoreal. If I deactivate it, you can see that we have a lot of models. All of these models can generate images in a different way. For example, this is Leonardo Anime XL. It's good for anime pictures. Lightning XL is realistic and also very good. So all of these are great models. Basically, when it started by with just a couple of models, Stable Diffusion 2.1 and 1.5, because the creators of this tool, when they created it at the top of the Stable Diffusion. So, and then it evolved to what we see today, which is incredible. It rivals Midjourney in a lot of ways, I would say. I would say Midjourney is better by let's just say a tiny bit, right? Leonardo is great, is really great. Now, not many people are aware of it though, but it's amazing. Now, you can use any of these models by just clicking on them. You also have to realize that here you can choose any of these styles. So if you want it to be cinematic, you can click cinematic. Let's say, for example, that you may want to add elements. Well, I don't recommend, but let's say you want to add a negative prompt. Let's say that you want the alien to not have hair. You can come over here and add hair. Because we added this as a negative prompt, the picture is going to have everything but hair, all right? And negative prompts are only available for these models. They're not available for the photoreal model. If I switch to photoreal, you'll notice that the negative prompt goes away. Now we have our alien here. Let's say we want to generate a video of this alien. All I need to do is to click on Generate Motion Video. Here, you can play with the motion strength however you want. The more motion strength, the more this means that this is going to add more movements. Hence, it's going to morph your video. So probably there's going to be some deformities the more you go high in the strength. So I'd like to keep it at a medium 4. I'd like to keep it visibility to public, so it doesn't matter if people see this generation of mine. And I can go ahead and click on the Generate button. Now, obviously, this isn't 16 by 9 inches because that's the default size. But you can change the size. And right now, it's working on creating a video. This video is going to feature an alien, this alien, and is going to try to animate that alien to make it a real-life video. And let's see how scary that looks. Okay, so here we have it. Now, this is the video. I can actually click here to download it, or you can click to make it bigger so that you can watch it here. And yeah, it does look scary, to be honest with you, and it scares me a lot right now. I think I'm going to have nightmares about this. Sorry, but you can see that it really generates incredible animations, just like this, for example, animation that I created of the Earth rotating. You can do pretty much a lot of animations, and we're definitely going to have our time of practice because we're going to use this to create a lot of video in order to create the entire movie. So right now that we introduced you to Leonardo AI, and of course that's not enough of an introduction because obviously there is a lot more that we can cover regarding Leonardo, but this is not a Leonardo AI course. So we can't go into the details of the details because that's going to take us 12 hours. We're just showing you what is required for you to create a movie. Now that we introduced you to Leonardo, next we're going to introduce you to Runway ML, another text-to-video software that can generate video based on text. I love it. And so let's go ahead and check this out next video. Welcome into the era of AI. Hello there and welcome. In this lecture, I would like to welcome you to Runway ML. Now, Runway ML can actually do a lot of things. One of them is text-to-video, which is one of the greatest features about Runway ML. Without further ado, let's get right into it. So let me show you an example of what Runway ML can do. You see the dog on the right-hand side. We managed to transform that dog into a metal dog using none other than Runway ML. I can play the video again so that you can see what I'm talking about. And you can see over there that the dog absolutely looks adorable as a metallic dog. And that is Runway ML in action. There's a lot of other things that Runway ML can do, such as generating videos. If you want to generate a video that looks like this, a robot with his eyes glowing, Runway ML can do that for you. It's your friend. Now, don't ask me about the video in the back because that was not generated by Runway ML. That's actually me transformed as a Terminator using Kyber AI, which we're not going to use in this course. Now, here you can see some spaceships flying with some people on a planet. You can see this hacker walking through a set of computers with other fellow hackers right there as well. You can see this is maybe planet Mars. Soil, you can see a spaceship, and it does look like a spaceship. It does look realistic as well. You can see here we have a couple of alien spaceships invading a planet or something similar, and they're moving. And of course, that's pretty much it for Runway ML. Now let's go and explore Runway ML text to video. Now Runway ML can do a lot of things. And like I said, text to video is one of the most powerful. It's actually text and image to video. So let's actually go ahead here and click. I'd like to use text to video. Image to video, I don't like it so much. So I'm going to go ahead over here. First of all, I would like to set this to 10. in terms of the motion. And then here you can write whatever it is that you want to write. So let's say, for example, aliens, or you want to generate a scene of, I don't know, maybe, let's say, let's take a complex scene. A boxer knocking or knocks out another boxer in the ring. Now here we can generate 4 seconds. So I'm going to click and it's going to go ahead and start generating. Now you can control the general settings from here if you wish. So if you wish to basically adjust anything here, you can adjust it. You can adjust the quality of the image the video that you get. You can adjust the camera settings, which I would recommend you to not touch. You can control the motion, add some motion bush to the images to actually edit if you have any pictures there. You can hear, so there's a lot of settings that you can control. You can also control the aspect ratio. It's set to 16 by 9 inches, but you can set it to be 9 by 16, which is good for TikTok sized videos. And then there's custom presets here that you can add if you have any. I'm going to go back to the prompt itself. You can see here we're at 57%, I'm sorry. 57% of the video. Now it's just a matter of seconds before the video is going to render, and then we're going to have it. All right, so here's the video. I'm quite sure it's not going to look great. It's a test, really a test for the tool. But let's watch this. All right, as you can see, it doesn't look great at all. It looks horrible, a horrible video. But hey, we're not going to be generating a video about boxers, right? You can try a different prompt. You can say alien spaceship invading Earth. And trust me that these prompts will get you better results. Always look out for how many seconds you have available, because you only have a certain amount of seconds available. You can get more credits by clicking here. And of course, you have to pay for those credits that you want. And you see here that it is working to generate an alien spaceship invading Earth. There it is. So here is the other scene. This one is definitely going to look better. And you can see that right now it looks like this is an alien spaceship. And you can see that this is a lot better, right? So with macro scenes where there's not a lot of characters, it looks great. With micro scenes where there's a lot of details, such as a boxing match, you can see it's not the same. So this is pretty much it for this Runway ML tutorial. If you ever want to download any video, you just have to click here and you can download it, which later on you can be able to open this up and watch it. You can also extend 4 more seconds. So if you want to add 4 more seconds to this, you can actually click here, which will add 4 more seconds to this, which I'm not really interested with. I think just 4 seconds per scene is better. And that's pretty much it. So now that we have introduced you to Runway ML, next we need to introduce you to Pika Labs, which is also a software that I use to generate video. As a matter of fact, this software can generate video with audio special effects if you want them as well. And it's only dedicated to create videos. So it has been created with the sole purpose to create text to video. So let's go ahead and explore this tool as well. Welcome into the era of AI. Hello there and welcome. In this lecture, I'm going to introduce you to Pika Labs, which is a tool that can generate video based on text. Without further ado, let's get right into it. Now, by the way, the video in the back, the robot with purple eyes, was generated using Pika. So let's go ahead and do this. Now, Pika Labs, like I said, is made to create videos based on text. So its sole purpose is to generate videos. And have a look at this video here of this talking robot, which looks pretty good, right? So let's actually move. This is more interesting. If you want to create some anime, here is to you. This is an anime, not just that, with a sound. And you can see that it has a sound over there of the sword. Now, of course, the sound is optional. You can add it or not add it if you don't want to add it. And there is more that I can show you. Here's another animation here. This robot suddenly transforming Berserk mode. You can see that this looks awesome. And I've used it in my AI movie. And you can imagine that if you use this, it will be great. Have a look at this car over here. It's a Mustang. And on the road, yes, this is AI generated, so it's not fake. It's Pika Labs. You can do this as well. Here's another one. You can see there that we even added sound to the video to make it look legit. Here's another one of a spaceship flying, and you can really see and really appreciate the quality of this tool. Here is an alien scene of an alien talking. All right, so there's a lot of things you can do. Here's another scene here of a hacker coated in a special shield a space shield that protects him from some alien threats. In my AI movie, of course, that's just some weird imagination. Here is another scene here of an astronomer in space. And here is a Gandalf fighting Sauron. Right, so we even generated a video of Gandalf. And here's another one of a magician. And you can see how great this is. All right, that's a 7-second video. Now, without further ado, let me go ahead and introduce you to Pika Labs. All right, so here we are inside of Pika Labs. The website is pika.art, and it's a membership website. I personally have the Pro plan at this stage, and that's because I have Leonardo, as well as basically Pika Labs, as well as Runway ML memberships, all because I want to create more content fast. Okay, so that's why I have them, because you can imagine I can run 3 different prompts at a time. It's better than running one prompt. So it 3x's my productivity by 3 times. So what do you want to generate? It's up to you. Let's say you want to generate a video of Ferrari race in the city. And here you can add the sound effects. You can also choose the style. So if you want this to be natural, you can keep it natural. You can also move and look at other effects. There's multiple effects here. All right, let me just move this like this. And if you want this to be 3D, moody, anime, I like to keep it natural. And you can even add an image to get inspiration from. And you can hit the generate button. Now, naturalistic film style, natural light. And here you can see that it is generating. Now, you can always reprompt. You can retry if you didn't like the response. And you can edit your prompt. And once this video is generated, you can add 4 seconds on top of the 4 seconds that was generated already. So if you want to add more seconds to the video, you can absolutely do that. And you're welcome to do it. All right. So you can see that that's the video. Now, let me download it first. And it will be downloaded as a video. Now, I'm going to add 4 seconds to it by clicking add 4 seconds, in which case it's going to go ahead and add 4 more seconds on top. Now I'm going to click here and enter, and it will add another 4 seconds. So this is going to be a total of 7 seconds. But here, let's actually take this and play it. Now you can see that the result wasn't really quite good. I could have been more, I'd define it more by saying, for example, Ferrari racing in a city, or racing instead of race. Because I said race, it thought that maybe it's the beginning of a race. I could have said something like a Ferrari at full speed in the middle of, let's just say, Vienna, or a specific city, or next to the Colosseum, or whatever it is you want to generate. And it's going to go ahead and do that for you. So that's something to keep in mind. Again, the detail is very important. And the more detail you provide, the better your prompt is going to be. And here's the 7-second one, right? So it's added 4 seconds on top of the previous seconds. Now it's 7 seconds. I can play it like this. I can deactivate the sound because that's a lot of noise. And you can see it just added more time to it. Obviously, didn't make it any different, but obviously you can try until you get decent results. There's obviously a lot of things you can do with this tool. You can generate a lot of scenes, a lot of things. And that's pretty much it. So yeah, this is it for this particular tool. In the next lecture, I will introduce you to CapCut, which is the software that we're going to utilize for the most part to put our film together. Stay tuned, for I will see you in the next video. Welcome into the era of AI. Hello and welcome. In this lecture, I'd like to introduce you to CapCut. Now, without further ado, let's get right into it. So what exactly is CapCut? CapCut, surprisingly, was created by the company, the very company that is responsible for creating TikTok. It was released in May 2019 by ByteDance, the parent company of TikTok, according to Wikipedia. And of course, this is true data. And they created this software. They made it free. By the way, I can honestly tell you, I've used Adobe Premiere Pro, I've used Camtasia, I've used OBS, I've used the whole video editing tools that you can think of. I can honestly tell you, CapCut is very comparable to, if not even better and more user-friendly and easier for beginners than Adobe Premiere. And the thing is, or the surprising thing, is that it is for free. Why is it for free? Very simple. Normally, the effects and the transitions and everything that is available inside of CapCut, normally for the logical, someone who thinks logically, that stuff shouldn't be free. Normally, it's illegal, right? That it should be free. I'm telling you this because it's just, for example, if you wanted to add a glitch transition in Adobe Premiere, you need to go and, of course, do a lot of things before you can create your transition, and there's a lot of variables. With CapCut, these transitions are available for free, and you can use them, all right? And they made it so because it's the parent company of TikTok and because it's encouraging a lot of people to create more TikTok videos. So they invested in creating, in my opinion, the second best video editor. Of course, Adobe Premiere is still a level above CapCut. For professional video editors, of course, would know this. But CapCut, for those of you that don't really want to know, want to learn, take a 40-hour course about Adobe Premiere in order to master it, CapCut doesn't really take that much to master. Actually, there's nothing about it to master. It's just easy, user-friendly, comprehensible. There's a lot of resources about it. And you can download it by going to Google, searching for CapCut. Please, one big disclaimer. Do not download CapCut from any other website besides CapCut.com, because we've had a lot of people on the internet that have downloaded false versions of CapCut from suspicious websites who claimed that they would give them the real version of CapCut, but they ended up downloading ransomware to their computer. First and foremost, if you're always downloading stuff to your computer, be careful about the source. Secondly, an antivirus is a must. It's an absolute must. There's no debate about this. Invest in an antivirus, a monthly membership. It protects you, protects your computer. You will lose a lot if someone gets access to your computer and gets access to your files, as opposed to what you're going to invest, like a $10 or $20 investment per month in an antivirus. So think about this, because an antivirus always scans the files that you download. If there's something wrong, it tells you, look, I'm not going to download this. It pauses the download. It tells you, no, I'm not downloading this because there's some virus here. There's a ransomware. And I'm using McAfee, and I'm telling you, only go to CapCut.com, nothing else but CapCut.com. And usually you'll find a snippet in Google that says download CapCut for desktop. And this is pretty much it. If you go to CapCut.com, here, there's this link. You can click it. Please don't trust any of these websites besides CapCut.com. It's at your own responsibility and risk. There's a lot of people that have compromised their computers because of downloading CapCut from other countries, from other websites that are suspicious. So this is pretty much it. Now, once you download CapCut, you should be able to open it by searching for it on your computer. And it should look something like this. Now, you can actually click to create a project, in which case it's going to open up CapCut. Please don't worry about it. It's not so difficult. You're going, at the end of this, I promise, you're going to generate your AI movie and you're going to enjoy it, right? So here, when CapCut opens, this is what it looks like. So let me explain everything in detail here. First thing is first here, this area right here, this little square right here is where you can put your videos, your audios, and everything else. So we'll start there, right? So I'm going to click on the import button because you have to. And then I'll actually go ahead and grab one of the videos that I have. So for instance, here we have this scene of the Ferrari, if you remember it. Now this is a 3-second scene. You can see it adds over there. And one thing here, if you want to organize your work, once you add your first file into CapCut, you will be allowed to right-click and click on this new folder button, which allows you to create a folder. and you can rename that folder. For example, you can name it Scene 1, so that you can organize your work in files and you can save. And basically, you can take this scene of the Ferrari, you can drag it inside of that file, and you can go inside of that file, and now there is the scene of the Ferrari. And this way, you organize your work into files instead of organizing it in a random way. Now here, for instance, if you want to add this to the editor, all you need to do is to grab it like this and drag and drop it. Now, once you drag and drop it here, you will immediately drag and drop it into the cover. The cover is generally this. And for one thing here that you have to know, videos always go from the cover. So this is the cover axis. See it? Videos always occupy the cover axis to the top. Audios are bottom of the cover axis. Now this video has an audio. We can listen to it. Now let's say you want to extract that audio from the video itself. You can right click on the video, just right click on it like this. Click on the extract button, and there you have it. Your audio is going to be extracted, and guess where it will be? Under the cover. If you try to take the audio over or on top of the cover, it's not going to work. It's always going to push it back down. As a matter of fact, let's try this right now. So this is the audio. Let's try to move it to the top. You can see it moves back down. It moves back down of the cover. Now, when I take this cover video and I move it to the top, you can see it moves because that's a video. So you can move it anywhere you want here. Well, actually, at least above the cover. And you need more scenes for you to be able to add more to the top. Now, here are a couple of tools that you have to know about CapCut. Now, you can cut scenes, just like cutting butter with a knife. So, for example, if let's say you want to cut this scene up to this point, you want to take this left part, and you want to maybe delete it or move it, you can click on this cutter here, the split. Make sure you're clicking on your scene, and guess what? This is a cut piece. If I place it anywhere here in the same level of the cover, it will snap right back. That is because we have activated. This is activated by default. It's called the magnet. If you click on this little magnet and deactivate it, if you move the scene, now it will not snap back, even if it's on the same level. Guess what? Look at the magic. If I activate the magnet, watch this. It goes right back in. Now, here, there are other cutters which we're not going to discuss. I think this one is good enough. Now, when it comes to these other effects, these are just some effects. So, for instance, this is called the reverse effect. By the way, if you want to go back in time, and if you want to undo anything, just click right here, and you can see that we can go back in time. It's traveling back in time, and back and forth again if you want to go reverse to the other side. And let's say that you split a scene, and then you made up your mind. You want to compound that scene. You can either go back in time, back when the scene was not split, but let's say you cannot go back in time. You don't have that option because you've added a lot of scenes afterwards. You can just select both of these scenes that you want to glue together, right click, and you can click here on create compound clip, in which case now this is going to be one big scene and it's going to be glued together, as you can see it here. And you can then again cut it again if you want to cut it again. Now here on the right hand side, first of all, before going there, here you can actually delete a scene by clicking. You can go back. You can actually hide a scene by hiding it, which is not going to show it. You can actually mute a track. For example, if you want to mute any track on this layer, because it functions like this. It functions horizontally like this. If I actually zoom out a bit more, all of this. If you click mute, it's going to mute everything here. And to show you this best, if I actually click on lock, it's going to show you where it extends. So everything in this perimeter and the surface is impacted by changes made from here. Now, this is the voiceover, or the audio that we've separated from the video. If you want to listen to the audio, you can listen to it like this. But if, let's say you want to mute this track, you can mute it. And guess what? Right now, if I play the video, there's no track. And you can go back to the track again, and you can actually unmute. Here, you can use these tools here, such as the marker effect, the freeze effect, the reverse effect. If you click on reverse, what's going to happen is that it's going to reverse the Ferrari on the other side. So it's going to flip the video. When I say flip the video, it's going to flip. So for example, if you're walking forwards, or if someone is walking forwards in a scene, if you click on the reverse option, it's going to actually make that person walk backwards, not forwards, right? So that's quite fun. And we can actually unmute so that you can see how this is done. So let's unmute the track or mute the track. And now you see that it's going backwards instead of zooming in, it's zooming out. And if I actually click on that video and actually go over here and click back to reverse again, now it's going to zoom in instead of zooming out. Watch this. So it's zooming in, all right? And that's something you can do if you want. Now, there's another option here, which is called the mirror option. If you click, this is going to mirror your scene in onto the other side, right? Every time you click it, it mirrors the scene. You can rotate your scene by clicking rotate. And then you can basically resize your scene if you want to resize it, which I'm not going to. You can control the ratio of your scenes by clicking here. So if you want this to be 4 by 3 inches instead of 16 by 9 inches, you can do so. If you want it to be 9 by 16 inches, you can do so, and so on and so forth. So you can control sizes. I'm going to get it back to 16 by 9 inches. Now, other things that you can do with these particular scenes here is very important. Now here, for instance, you can record yourself talking. If you click on voiceover here, it's going to record. Obviously, I'm recording right now, so I cannot do it. Now, I want to show you some incredible tricks here. So let's say you want to make this scene smaller in size. You can scale it back and forth. Of course, make sure you select it. Select the scene that you want to edit. And here there's this scaling option. It enables you to scale back and forth, back and forth. Let me show you an interesting tip here. Now, I'm going to go back to about 100%. There it is. You can type it here. Now, I want to add an animation here. So I want to add a animation, a zoom animation. Now, I'm going to click here on this scene. Now, let me go back, for instance, for a second here. I'm going to click on this scene. I would like to add this keyframe. So click on Add Keyframe. And what that does, if you zoom in, you see that there's a little dot over there that has been added. That's what we call a keyframe. I can move a tiny bit more after the keyframe. And I can add another keyframe. And this time for the other keyframe, I can scale it like that. And then I can zoom out a bit. I can move a little bit more, add another keyframe, and zoom even more. And now I can move a little bit more, add another keyframe, and start zooming back. And then I can add another keyframe and then also start zooming back. And guess what's going to happen right now? From this moment of the first keyframe, which is here, there's going to be a weird animation happening. So watch this. You can see that kind of animation that happens. So that you can add it sometimes to add an emphasis on a boxing punch, for example. If someone is punching someone in a boxing punch, you can add that effect on in your shorts to make it look like the world was shattered. That person was feeling like the earth is there's a trembling. You can also use the blend feature. Now, if you click on the blend feature here, it's going to activate it. Now, it's already activated by default. This enables you to control the opacity of your clip. Now, you must be asking, well, what is it? How is this useful? This is useful. Let me show you. So if I were to actually go ahead, and it's useful to also create what we call transitions. But I'm going to show you an interesting tip here. I'm going to actually, first of all, move my needle back here. Click on this scene. Control-C to copy. Now, this that's moving around, it's because we have enabled it. So it's called the preview axis. If you turn it off, there is no longer any preview axis. If you turn it on, there is a preview axis. And the preview axis can be quite handy because, for example, I've clicked on Control-C, which means I copied this scene. If I move the preview axis by hovering over, if I click Control-V, guess what? Guess where it's going to copy paste it? It's going to copy paste it at the moment of the beginning of the preview axis. And I can always bring it back. Now, the magnet only works below. It works in the cover. It doesn't work here. So if I move the scene around here, even though the magnet is active, it doesn't work for that, but it works for this one because it's in the cover. Now, there is a scene on top of another scene. Let me show you a trick. Now, I'm going to take the above scene, and I'm going to go to the opacity. I'm going to switch it to 50. All right? Now, I switched the opacity of the above scene to 50. And then I would like you to click on the mirror effect, which is going to mirror the Ferrari onto the other side. And guess what that creates? It creates an illusion effect, like this, as you can see. I can also be a bit smarter. I can actually mirror it again back where it was. And because there's a scene on top of another scene, you don't see anything. But if I actually rotate this, if I rotate this on top, you can see that right now, all of a sudden, we can see one Ferrari on top and one Ferrari below. And you can actually take the scene, the other scene as well, decrease its transparency a bit. Now, let me show you a trick here. Now, what would you tell is the scene that has authority over the other? The above or below? Now, the above scene has now 50 opacity, 50%. If I were to increase it to 100%, you can see that the other scene below no longer appears. It's because this is how the hierarchy works in video editing. The scene that's above always shows before the scene that's below. Let me give you a clue. If I move this scene slightly, automatically the scene that shows now is the scene below because there's no scene above it. But as soon as I move the needle here, the scene that shows is the scene that's above. It's the one that has the priority. Now, there's a lot of other elements, by the way. There's a lot of things I can show you. There's the speed element. There's, for example, let me take this scene away by clicking here and deleting it. You can hit enter or you can right click on the scene and just simply delete it. Now, if you want to speed up this scene, you can actually speed it up. And notice it's going to shrink in size, but it's going to be sped up. And you can actually also slow it down. When you slow it down by going to the speed, if you slow it down, it gets more because it has more size now. But it's much slower, as you can see. And you can always toggle back and forth between 1x speed and more. You can also control the duration. So for example, if I make this 10 seconds, automatically I'm going to slow it down by a lot, right? And that's also some way you can slow it down, and I can just get it back to the initial speed. You can also do the same thing for audio. You can also speed up the audios. Now with the audios, you also get access to the voice changer if you'd like to change your voice to a hacker voice or a synth voice or an echo voice. There's a lot of things you can do. And then, of course, there's audios. If you want audios, obviously, we're not going to use audios from here. We're going to get our audios from Pixabay. But you can search for any audio that you want. Music, audio, whatever it is that you want. For example, let's say you're searching for the sound of explosion. Explosion. If you search for explosion, you're going to find music. First of all, this is music. So I need to set it up to sound effect first. And then I can now search for explosion, sound effect. If I were to hit enter, watch this. We're going to get a lot of results, copyright free, of explosion sounds. And guess what? You can actually take this explosion, drag it over here, and now it's a part of your scene. And so if I play the scene back, it plays the explosion. And guess what? You can actually even tone it down. You can control the explosion audio by toggling back and forth here, by holding this cursor, moving up and down. The more you go down, the less the audio size is. You can see that it reduced considerably. And the more you increase it, the heavier it would be. Like that. And of course, there's effects that go along with effects that go along with sound effects. So if you click on effects right here, you can go ahead and search for an explosion effect. So if I search for explosion, because there's an explosion sound effect, it's only logical that we show an effect of that. There's a bunch of explosions here. So for example, you can go with this one. It's pretty cool. And you can place it at the very moment where the explosion sound spikes. And you can actually control the size of how much you want to show that effect for. And for example, if I click here, I can actually reduce the size of the explosion sound. And watch this now. This is going to be very different. So I'm going to play it from here. And you can see that it matches. Now, there's a lot of effects which we don't have the time to go through all of them. We're only going to be using effects for the intro and outro, as well as some glitch effects, which we're going to discuss later. As far as transitions, they are what make a transition between every scene. So let me show you an example. I'm going to click on this scene, click Control C to copy it, move my needle at the end of that scene and click Control V to add that. Now transitions can only happen between scenes on the same level. So this has to go down right here and be on the same level of that one. Let's say you want to, well, first of all, let's take the explosion away. Let's take this effect away. And let's say you want to add a glitch transition. Click on transitions. You can search, but you can also click on the transitions from here. They're by category. If you want to add a glitch transitions, there's a lot. I'm going to select this glitch, place it here between these scenes. Obviously, these scenes are too small for a transition, but for me, it's 4 seconds minimum. These are actually, I think, 3 seconds. But here you can see that there is a transition. And if we watch this, there's a transition happening. But there is no sound effect. Now, if you go to audio, you can go ahead and look for glitch sound effect. There is such a thing as a glitch sound effect. And these sound effects are pretty useful. So for example, if I click this one, or this one, or this one, or this one, this one, UFO, glitch sound. Obviously, all of these glitch sounds are not really cool. That's why I like to use Pixabay. But generally speaking, you drag any one of these glitch noises or sounds. For example, this one, you can place it here. And you can place it for just enough, as long or as soon as for just enough to add the effect. So for example, I can cut this by clicking here, and there's the excess. I can get rid of it by right-clicking here and clicking delete. Or in order to make it faster, you can just hit enter. And guess what right now? You can see that at least adds a glitch to showcase that there is some noise over there. Now, of course, there's a lot of things. There's adjustments. We're going to go through these things when we need them, captions. But now you're more than equipped with pretty much everything you need to follow along when we are working on the project. Wishing you the best and nothing but the best as always. Passive Income Gen Z, signing out. Welcome into the era of AI. Hello and welcome. In this lecture, I'll introduce you to 11 Labs, which is the voiceover AI software that we're going to use to generate AI voiceover. Without further ado, let's get right into it. Now, 11 Labs isn't just capable of generating voiceover software. It's capable of a lot of things, such as voice cloning, voice creation, text-to-speech, speech-to-speech, voice library available with a lot of voices that you can use, voice dubbing, and you can also sell your own voice. So you can create a voice clone of yourself and put it on display for people that want to use it. And you can give them the license to use it commercially for their videos if you happen to have a great voice or you are a voiceover artist. That is also a great way to monetize your voiceover artist skills. Now, voice cloning enables you to clone a voice. So you can take a random voice and clone it, or you can clone your own voice, which is the ideal way of, the reason why they created it. It's not for you to go ahead and just create deepfakes. Well, while you can create deepfakes, but it's better off that you do it just for fun and academic purposes like we do. Now, voice creation, you can create an entire voice from scratch. Text-to-speech, which means you can convert text into audio. And speech-to-speech is you can take an audio and convert it into an audio with another voiceover or another voice. So you can shift the voices. Voice library gives you access to a lot of voices, and the video dubbing enables you to dub a video in a different language. For example, this is a video short that I uploaded a long time ago, and it was in English. I turned it Spanish. Let's watch this.
En este video voy a mostrarte un trabajo secundario que no podrás resistir, pero antes que nada, asegúrate de pulsar el botón de suscripción. La imagen que estás viendo justo aquí, y de hecho, no solo esta, sino esta y esta fueron todas generadas usando Leonardo AI y también podrían ser generadas utilizando el viaje. Esta en particular fue generada utilizando el diario. Había un sitio web llamado Adobe Stock o stock.adobe.com y en este sitio web la gente vende arte de stock. Llegas al sitio web, por ejemplo, y buscas león, obtendrás muchos resultados de leones y muchos de estos resultados son en realidad leones generados mediante inteligencia artificial. artificial. Pero, por ejemplo, este fue generado mediante inteligencia artificial y está clasificado bastante alto. Puedes usar un gran software como Leonardo AI para generar imágenes como estas, para venderlas en Adobe Stock. Este fue el trabajo secundario de hoy. Para saber más, el video está en nuestro canal. Suscríbete y nos vemos en nuestro próximo trabajo secundario.
All right, so that's pretty much what you can do as well with VoiceOver AI 11 Labs. Now, when you go to 11 Labs, everything is pretty much straightforward. If you want to clone voices, click on Voices here, and then you have access to, well, you see the voices. You'll see the voices you have in your Voice Lab. I happen to have a lot of voices, and you also have an option, this plus button. It enables you to clone a voice. Now, personally, with the plan I have right now, only gives me access to put 30 voices at a time that I can use. I'm right now at 28. If I click on plus, I can either design an entire voice from scratch by going over here, increasing the accent strength, choosing an accent, for example, British, choosing the gender, let's say it's male or female. And then here there is a dummy sentence, and you can generate to get a feel of how this works.
First, we thought the PC was a calculator. Then, we found out how to turn numbers into letters, and we thought it was a typewriter.
If you're interested with this voice, you can actually click Use Voice, in which case it's going to create this voice from scratch for you, and you can use it later on. Now, if you want to clone a voice, there are two options. Instant voice cloning, which allows you to clone a voice by adding as much as 25 samples of voices. So you can record yourself talking in different times of day, in different tones, angry, sad, feeling good, happy, and so on and so forth. And you can upload these particular voices. They should not be more than 5 minutes of audio in total, and the sample quality, the video, every video, and it shouldn't be more than 10 megabytes in size per video. And you can describe this. You can add a name to your clone, and then you can add voice, or you can create a more professional clone using professional voice cloning, which also requires you to confirm this, and you can go and get started. And you can add up to 100 audios, up to 3 hours of content of yourself talking. Minimum is 30 minutes, but that will create a great voice clone for you. Now, if you want to dub videos, you can click on the dubbing option here, and that will take you right here. And you can actually take any video and dub it in any language you want, whether that be a video link. You can take a link, you can dub it based on a link, on a YouTube link or TikTok link, or you can upload by clicking on the upload feature. Select the source language of the video, as well as how or what language you want to dub the video to, and give it a name, and then click create. You can see some projects I've worked on here, and I can go back to the voices by clicking here. And when I go back to the voices, if you want to access the library of voices to see the voices and to test the voices, click on the voice library from here instead of Voice Lab. The Voice Lab is usually where your voices are. Voice Library is where the entire voices are. So here, a lot of voiceover artists, they create a lot of voiceovers and they put them here on display. You can see how many times these voices have been used. So for example, this voice have been used by 1,700 users with 2.8 million characters generated, which means that this voice has been used quite a lot. And you can also monetize your own voice. If you create your own voice clone, you can put it here. And since this software gets millions of traffic, you can see that there are some people that have close to 6,600 people using their voices. And some people have a lot more than that, 14,000. This one is for trailer videos. Also, the keyword that you add in your title that you give to your voice is going to play a big difference. For example, this guy named his voice Tom Trailer Narrator, and which is why he got a lot more users, because people are interested to create these types of trailers, including myself. So if you want to get a sample of the audio to hear what it feels like, click on sample here.
Genius is 1% inspiration and 99% perspiration.
And if you like that voice, you can click right here on Add to Voice Lab. You can keep it the same name, or you can change its name. I'm going to keep it the same name and just click on Add to Voice Lab, and I could find it now in the Voice Lab. Now, if I go to the top, there are some filters that you can use to search for voices. So if you want a voice for advertisement, click on the advertisement filter. You can see a lot of voices here, and you can actually test them out.
Apenas confie em si mesmo, então você saberá como viver.
This is a Brazilian accent, and so on and so forth. So, and you can also search. If you want other types of voices you can search, you can always click back to disable the filter, and that's it. Now, if you want to generate voices, click on speech. Now, when you go to speech, here, make sure you select the voice that you want to generate text with. We have a dummy voiceover text here that I'm going to keep, but generally you have to add it here. Also, you can either, like I said, generate voices based on text to speech or speech to speech, in which case you can upload an already existing audio and you can generate the counterpart of that audio in another voice, which I do use from time to time when I want to do deepfakes. But just in this case, I'm not doing it. And by the way, deepfakes, they have a code of usage. If you're using them for academical purposes, you're just trying to show people how it works, technical aspect, you're teaching it for academic purpose, it's different than trying to use deepfakes to do some political stuff. So be very careful about your use of deepfakes. Use them responsibly. Now, and we happen to be experts in deepfakes, by the way. Now here, text-to-speech, this is the text, right? I'm going to keep it there. You can see the quota that I have. So I have 89,000 quota remaining. I have, in a month, they give me access to 100,000 characters that I can generate a voiceover with. And you can change the voiceover artist by just clicking here and looking for your voiceover artist. And for example, if I want to use my own voice clone, I can click on this voice that I have created and I can generate. And it's going to generate it in my own voice. It's not perfect.
You said you'd always be there for me. But when the chips were down, when I looked over my shoulder, where were you? This city chewed me up and you watched, sipping on your half-calf latte.
That's a pretty fun voiceover there. And you can see that it actually sounds a little bit like me, but I didn't really put so much time in adding a lot of audios to perfect my voiceover. I could have made it much better than that. Now, here, you can also go to any voice you want. So let's say we use the voice of Tom, the trailer narrator. Just look for Tom, click Tom, and generate with the voice of Tom.
You said you'd always be there for me. But when the chips were down, when I looked over my shoulder, where were you? This city chewed me up, and you watched, sipping on your half-calf latte.
That sounds fun. And by the way, if you want to control the settings of a voice, click here. You can exaggerate the style. You can add more. You can increase the similarity to the original voice. You can make it stable or unstable. Unstable means that sometimes you might say, you said you'd always be there for me. But when the chip, and then all of a sudden, he will jump to another extreme. So it's almost like you will be taken by surprise, right? So that's what they mean there by making the voice unstable or more stable. Now, I'd like to keep it at a medium level because it gives it access to make it more natural. And if you want to download this, you can download it like this. And you can use it. So when you download it, it can be used in your projects. So that pretty much sums up this lecture regarding this particular magnificent software, 11 Labs, which since I discovered, it really made a lot of changes for me. Now, in order to make things a bit faster, let me go ahead and show you how you can get sound effects and music. And it's in nowhere but Pixabay. It's the best platform to get this royalty-free images and videos and sound effects for free, copyright-free. And you don't need to attribute anything to anyone. So let's go ahead and check this out. So for instance, here I'm on Google. Let's say you want to search for a sound effect, which is a glitch sound effect. If you search for glitch SFX, always add glitch SFX, which is short for sound effects, Pixabay, in the keyword research, and then you should find a lot of glitches. So for instance, here's the first one. If you didn't like that, here's the second one. If you didn't like that, here's another one. Here's another one. And another one. And there's a lot, right? So there's a lot of glitch sound effects. And you can choose any one of them that you desire. For example, this is a glitch collection. There's a lot of glitch sound effects over here, and you can choose, like I said, any one of them you so desire. Now, let's say, for example, you want to, let's say, look for an impact sound effect that you show usually when there is an impact scene. I can click on Impact SFX Pixabay and then click right here. There you have it. So there's a lot of impact sounds. Let's try the first one. There's another. Here's another one. And another one. And so you can imagine, you can look for any sound effect. Now, and you can apply it to your clip or to your AI movie. Now, when it comes to music, you can remove this SFX. And depending on the music that you want to use, let's say you want to use a optimistic music, Pixabay, you'll find a lot of optimistic music, no copyright songs. For example, let's say you want to listen to this one. And you can go ahead over here and download this to your computer. There's also all sorts of music that you can use depending on what you search for. So this pretty much sums it up. In the next lecture, I'm going to teach you how you can generate the script using ChatGPT for our trailer. And the good thing is that I'm going to share with you the prompt that I use to create these AI movies. Because you have to understand something about AI movies in general, or videos in general. They have to follow a sequence of logic. Every scene must have a scene that precedes it and must have a scene. They must be logically intertwined, right? So they must be logically attached like a collar, right? So the collar, it's attached. Every part of it is attached to one another. Pretty much it should be the same thing. So it shouldn't be a movie where it's dislocated, where in a scene we talk about aliens and then in the next scene we talk about a forest. All right, so you should also remind ChatGPT that you're creating a AI movie, which means that there's this sequence of time and there's the chronological aspect to a movie. So it should be going in a logical sense and everything should make sense for the people that watch or for the viewers. So this is it for this video. The next lecture is going to be the lecture where we generate the script. And not just that, we're going to actually organize our job and take that script and transform it into a voiceover for the entire video. And then the lecture afterwards, we're going to generate the B-roll, or we're going to generate what we call the video B-roll footage that we're going to use to create the movie. Wishing you nothing but the best as always. Passive Income Gen Z signing out. Welcome into the era of AI. Hello there and welcome. In this lecture, I'm going to share with you the ChatGPT prompt that I use to generate the script. This is a prompt that I personally created, and for the sake of you, I'm going to give it to you for free. Now, this is the prompt, and it's actually very simple. It's going to enable us to create the script to generate the entire video without much effort. Now, the prompt is as follows. I want to create a short what? So if it's 2 minutes, you put 2 in there in the duration. If it's 3 minutes, put 3 minutes. If it's 10, put 10. AI movie, okay, about story. Put the story topic, describe that story. What is the story about? Aliens taking over the planet, or you could say something like the apes fighting the aliens, or whatever story you want it to be. The story should feature main elements. You could put there the main elements in the story and involve specific events or characters. Put these specific events or characters. And there you should say, I need a voiceover script to narrate every, and put the interval. So there, the interval for me is 4 seconds because I can only generate 4 seconds at a time of video. So I put it over there. And for every 4 seconds of video, it should generate the voiceover that matches that, as well as describe the background video, because based on that description, I can go ahead and generate the video that fits that particular scene. The scenes must logically lead into one another in a synchronized way, forming a cohesive narrative. If a scene requires a special sound effect, mention it briefly with a short description of the SFX. What do I mean by that? I mean that, for example, if there needs to be a SFX in a scene, it must tell me that. It must tell me that, and it must describe the SFX. If it's a BAM, it should say there should be a BAM. If it's an explosion sound effect, there should be an explosion sound effect with this scene. So without further ado, let's go and use this. Now, the prompt itself, you'll find it attached to the resources of this very lecture over here. And it gives you access to this prompt, which you can copy like this. And you can come over here. And the breakdown is very simple. And we explain everything. So we explain everything about the breakdown. All right. So, and here you can actually go ahead and practice. So let's practice. So for first of all, we want this to be 2 minutes. So I'm going to remove this part that says 2 minutes, and I'm just going to keep 2 minutes. Story topic. Here, let's enter the story topic. So let's say, for example, that the story is about aliens, alien-human war over the planet, or the supremacy of the planet, right? Aliens want to take over the world. Let's say the king of the aliens is scary and a Titan alien, and he wants to control the world. He owns a destructive ship, and there is the threat of a nuclear war. The only solution to push the aliens back, but at a high cost. Now, the main elements enter the key elements of the story. We could say the alien king is obsessed with controlling the earth and seeks to destroy humanity and rule the vast earth because his population is growing and cannot be sustained by other smaller planets, and finds the earth to be very good and wants it all for himself. He is a dark and cruel king of aliens, right? So that's it. Specific events enter the main characters. The main character is, let's say, the king of the aliens and the king of mankind, right, are fighting one another. Aliens are super powerful, and some of them are titans, like the alien king. They have space ships, weapons of mass destruction, and the only way we stand a chance is by ways of nuclear war. Enter the interval for each scene. So in this case, it's 4 seconds. Let's go ahead to 4 seconds. So this is it. Now, here, what I'm going to do, I'm going to copy the prompt first and foremost. And I'm going to come back here. I'm going to place the prompt, and I'm going to say, and here are the variables to take into consideration. So instead of plugging them directly over there, I've added a comment right here that says, here are the variables, and I can go back and copy these variables like this, in this syntax, back to ChatGPT, and it's going to go ahead and it's going to generate everything that we asked it. So a 2-minute video. Now here, the scene 1 opening, scene 2, scene 3, scene 4, and it's going to start generating everything for us. Now, in order to work properly, I'd like you to go to Docs, or Google Docs, for the lack of a better term. Google Docs. I'd like you to open a project so that you can make sure that you put your script in good hands. Now go here and name this file. So this is about the alien movie. Alien AI movie. Now, hopefully, or ChatGPT has finished generating the script for. Now, it didn't quite make it 2 minutes, so it's quite stupid of it to only make it 52 seconds. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to say 2 minutes equals 120 seconds, not 52. So it can be quite stupid sometimes. So just to tell you, so make sure that you put it you correct it. So if it doesn't do as told, you have to provide it with a correction. Now, for one thing here, it's generating an SFX for every scene, which I didn't ask it for. So I'm going to say, not every scene must have an SFX. Only a select few. And with this, now is going to perfect the script, because I don't want an SFX for every scene, right? So we just want it for a select few of scenes where it's needed. Okay, so finally now this is 120 seconds. Now the voiceovers are here. Now let's copy this entire script, go back to Google Doc, paste it in there so that we can always find it in here. But what I want to do before I move, now I can just close this because I just downloaded it. What I want to do is I want to show you something. We want to condense the voiceovers into one paragraph so that we can generate one big voiceover. So I'm going to say, can put all the voiceovers into one paragraph. And we can hit enter. In which case, now it's going to put all the voiceovers into one paragraph. And so right now, we're going to take that voiceover and we're going to go back to 11 Labs. So go and search for 11 Labs. We're going to give this voiceover a treatment. So let's take this to 11 Labs first. I'm going to put this voiceover all in here. And then we need to choose a voice. I like Tom's voice. It's pretty good. I'm going to generate.
In a distant future, Earth faces its greatest threat. The alien king, a titan obsessed with domination, leads an invasion force, unstoppable and merciless. The king of mankind rallies the last defenses. Alien titans wreak havoc on the ground. A fierce battle rages for control of Earth. Humanity's last hope. A nuclear counterstrike. A high-cost solution to push the aliens back. The alien king, furious and relentless. Destruction on a massive scale. The world scarred, but humanity survives. Hope rises from the ashes of war. But the alien king is not defeated. The human king fortifies Earth's defenses. Aliens develop new technology to conquer Earth. A stealth attack begins. But humanity is ready. A fierce ground battle ensues. The alien king grows desperate. The human king makes a final stand. The tides begin to turn. The alien king is finally defeated. Earth begins to rebuild. Humanity stands united. A new hope for the future. But vigilance remains. Alien remnants lurk in the shadows. The war may be over, but the fight for survival continues. The fate of Earth rests in the hands of those who dare to protect it. This is just the beginning of a new era.
And you need to download that particular voiceover here. And here's how you need to organize your work. Now, you need to download the voiceover, and then here's how you need to organize your work. So go and create a file, name it Alien Movie, for instance, and then go over, take the voiceover, place it somewhere. Now, let's go ahead over here. I'm going to show you how to organize the work so that we can have everything working smoothly. So here's the voiceover. It should be here. There it is. Now cut that voiceover, come back here, paste it in. After you put the voiceover, go back to ChatGPT or to your Google Doc, whichever one of them you like. Now, how many scenes are there? So there's 30 scenes. Now you need to create 30 files, starting with S1, and then do the same thing, create another file, call it S2, and then S3, and then S4 until 30. Now, once you have created all of these files organized like this, I would like you to go ahead and do the following. So scroll to every single scene. See if there is a scene that has a SFX. So for example, scene number 1 has a low, ominous hum of SFX. Go ahead, go to Google, put that description, that short description. Next to it, put SFX, Pixabay. And then find if we can, or see if we can find a SFX for that. So there's a lot. For example, this one. This one is pretty cool. So I'm going to download it. Now, once you've downloaded that, go And that should be inserted in scene number 1. So go to the file of file number 1. And then you need to go to your downloads. Take that particular SFX sound effect, copy it or cut it, go to scene number 1, place the SFX right over there. Now go back and then do the same thing for scene number 2. See if there is an SFX. There is none. For scene number 3, there is laser blasts and explosions. So I'm going to actually go ahead and look for if I can find an effect that has both these. Or we can add both. So we can search for laser blast SFX alone. And then we can look for explosions effect as well. And we can combine the two, right? So here we have laser zap. Yeah, this one is good. Let's try and look for something different. Actually, the first one is better. The other ones seem like those laser guns that we used to get as children. Now remember, this is in scene 3. Now go and search for explosions. Explosions, SFX Pixabay. And there's a free explosion sound. All right, so I'm just going to go for this one. Yeah, that sounds like a pretty good explosion. Let's go for this one. Yeah, this one is better. The first one is better. So now that we have these two effects, we're going to have to go and put them in their respective file. So I'm going to go and cut, go to file number 3, and paste the sound effects in that particular file. And then you have to repeat this operation as many times for as many other SFX sound effects. So for example, for scene number 4, inspirational heroic music, inspirational SFX. Let's try to find this. We want inspirational effect, not a music. Music is usually larger in size, and we don't need that. Let's try this one. Let's try something else. Yeah, this one is good, so I will download it. Then I'll actually, this is, if I'm correct, in scene number 4. So go open up file number 4, go back to your downloads, copy or cut, place it in the file, and then go back to Google results and then go to ChatGPT. Scene number 6 also has an effect. It's explosions, gunfire, and alien screams. Yeah, we need 3 sound effects in this time. So explosions. Let's try to remain, let's just say, use one explosion, this one. We've already used it before. Now there is gunfire. I'll copy gunfire. And I'll place it right here. Gunfire SFX Pixabay. Let's actually download this. Free gun. Let's see. Machine gun. Yeah, this is more like it. And let's go for alien screams. I'm not sure if we're going to find some alien screams, but let's just try to find something creepy. Free alien scream, sound effect, download. All right, we have this one, alien monster scream. Yeah, that's definitely the one. There is no need for us to listen to it twice. It was horrifying. But we have 3 sound effects again. And you need to go take those 3 sound effects. We have the explosion, the machine gun. Now, because I was so scared of that sound effect, I forgot to download it. So that was pretty funny. Let me download it. It was so horrifying that I forgot to download. All right, so we have all of the sound effects for that scene. We'll cut them like this, go back. Now the scene that's concerned is scene number 6. Always remember the scene. And then go to that specific scene and place these sound effects in there. We're going to need to use them later. Now when it comes to the others, we're going to have to do the same thing. So this is urgent alarm beeping. Have to go and search for urgent alarm beeping. We're only going to do it 2 times, this time and another one. and I'm going to leave you to do the rest. So here we have some free alarm. Let's go and take some sound or alarm sounds. Yeah, maybe this is good, but let's try to look for something different. No, this one. Yeah, this one sounds good. We definitely need to cut it because it's 15 seconds. We'll cut it. Now, once you've downloaded that, go and then place it in its respective scene. Not sure where it is, so I have to go back to ChatGPT to revisit. This is scene number 7. Okay, so let's go back to scene number 7. Place the alarm sound. And then there is another one at scene number 8. Rocket ignition and launch. Yeah. Let's copy this rocket ignition and launch. Go back and then remove this, paste this in. Rocket ignition and launch SFX, and then go search for free rocket sound. Ignition. Okay. So let's actually look for some rocket sound like this. That's a rocket landing. We're more looking for a rocket taking off. That one is pretty hard. Rocket, rocket, rocket. Let's actually keep looking. Rocket launch, this one. Yep, this one actually is more like it. This one is 9 seconds, so I'm going to prefer to go with the 9-second one. And there it is. And you need to go and cut it as well and paste it into its respective scene, which basically I think is about scene number 8. So let's go to scene number 8. And then let's place this sound right over there. And like I said, you need to just go ahead and do the same thing for all of the other scenes. Obviously, we did it for all of these. There's not much left. So go ahead and do it for the other scenes that are left. And I'll see you in the next video in which we're going to generate the videos that we're going to need, the background videos for every scene. Wishing you the best. Passive Income Gen Z, signing out. Welcome into the era of AI. Hello and welcome. In this lecture, I'm going to show you how you can render the video footage that we can use for this entire AI movie. So I've basically here, I've opened Leonardo AI. I'm going to open Runway ML and make sure that the text or image to video option is enabled, and also Pika Labs to go much faster. And I'm going to get started in a very simple fashion. So here's how my workflow works, and it's going to work also for you. If you want to generate scenes with only Leonardo, fine. Click on the image generation. It's absolutely fine. You can do it with just one software. You don't need multiple software. For me, I think multiple software is good because it makes it faster. Now, if I click on legacy mode here, it's going to take us back to legacy mode, which I happen to like more than this new mode. And then you can go back to the legacy mode and then go back to ChatGPT and start from the beginning. The voiceover we already generated it. The SFX are already in their places. Now we just need the background video. So copy this wide shot of Earth space showing alien ships approaching. Go back into Leonardo and very simply place it here. Now for me, I'm using photoreal, but for you, you can switch it to another model, an entirely different model. You can go for Leonardo Lightning XL, you can go for Anime XL, any kind of model. I want to remind you that you only have a limited amount of credits that you can use for free on Leonardo. Basically 150, so it's only going to enable you to generate about 7 images or 6. But you can try just generate those first images and see if that's what you like. There is no free software that can do this, by the way, just so you know. The Alchemy option is a pro element, but it helps a lot because a lot of these models, they're not capable of generating images of high quality in different sizes other than the size that is prescribed on the model. For example, Leonardo Lighting XL, you see the size 1024 by 768. Leonardo Diffusion, if you click, it's 1024 by 768 as well. Dream Shaper, it's basically 640 by 832. Every model has its own size where it works best. But the Alchemy overrides that and makes the models perform great in any size you want or any image size. Now, I'm going to switch back to photoreal. I'm also going to switch back here. I'm going to switch the style to cinematic. All right, you can switch to any style you want, creative, film. I'm going to switch it to cinematic. And then I'm going to basically paste in the first prompt. And I would like to generate 4 images at a time. So I'm going to go ahead and generate the first 4 images. It's going to just start working on them. Now, secondly, I'd like to take this, the alien king that obsessed with word domination, and I can go to Runway ML. I could place this right here in Runway ML. And in terms of the motion, I could actually make it about 6 this time and generate. And also to speed up the workflow, I'm going to go to, basically PicaArt. I'm going to place this prompt. And here, instead of he leads, I'm going to say the alien giant king leads an invasion force, unstoppable invasion force on the earth. And I'm not going to add any sound effects, and I'm going to hit generate. Now, 3 softwares are working in unison, but like I said, you can make the workflow work in only one software. Now here, wide shot, showing alien ships approaching. Take any one of those scenes that you like, turn it into a motion by clicking Generate Motion Video. And then once the scene is done, you can go ahead and view it in a full screen way so that you can view most of it. Or you can hit the MP4 button to download it. And then once you download the scene, be very careful and take it slowly. You need to have 2 files open. One file with basically where you have, this, you copy that into the other alien movie file, scene number 1, place the scene, and then go to scene number 2. Now, if you're using only Leonardo, you should do it in this way, a batch of 3. Take it slowly on Leonardo, a batch of 3 scenes at a time, and copy paste the scenes respectively. And here we have the alien king titan obsessed with Let's see this alien titan. Well, this looks pretty interesting. I'm going to go ahead and download this second scene now. Go to my download. This should go in scene number 2. All right. And then go back, place it in scene number 2. And similarly, I'm going to do the same operation for scene number 3. It's in Pika Labs, and here it is. Looks like a very angry alien creature. So let's actually download it. Go back to downloads. The alien giant. Copy the alien giant. Place it here. And then go back to scene number 4. Now the process repeats itself all over again. So scene number 4, the king of mankind rallies his last defenses. Let's go ahead and paste this in to Leonardo AI and hit the generate button. Then go back for the other one. And in case you're using Leonardo, this one should be pasted again onto Leonardo. But for me, since I'm using other software to speed the operation, I'm going to paste this to Runway ML. Hit the send button. Now it's going to start another project. And then I'm going to go here, a fierce battle rages for control of Earth. And I'm going to add more context to it, and so should you. So instead of saying a fierce battle just on Earth, I'm going to say a fierce battle rages between giant aliens and humans. And instead of just giant aliens, I could say giant scary aliens. Scary aliens. And I'm going to hit the generate button. And this is going to go and generate another 4-second scene. Now the Leonardo images are here. The king of mankind rallies the forces and so on and so forth. That seems pretty good. Now let me see this image here. It's looking quite weird, but let's see. Now these are people with swords, and I'm not sure if this is something interesting. So I would rather actually go with a scene that only shows the king isolated. That would be good. And I would like to generate a motion for that. All right, so once the scenes are generated, like as usual, go ahead, download the first scene. This should go in scene number 4. There you have it. Go back to scene number 4, place it in. Then go and go inside of scene number 5 folder and download the scene that goes with it. So Alien Titans. Let's click and see these Alien Titans. All right, this is not a bad scene. Let's actually go ahead and download this one. And then go and put this into scene number 5. There it is. Go to scene number 5, place it in. And then let's go to scene number 6. Scene number 6, this should be in Pika. Well, that's a great scene. It's like Star Wars stuff. Now let's download that particular scene. It shows the destruction, fierce battle. Let's copy paste it here onto this. And then let's go for scene number 7 and just repeat the same process. So in scene number 7, we have a high cost solution to push the aliens back. Well, let's actually go and copy this. All right, let's paste this in. Instead of, well, I think that's the voiceover. I'm sorry. Video showing nuclear missiles launching in the sky. I think I was doing a mistake all this time. Quite sorry. Normally I should be copying the background video, but anyways, I'm going to copy the nuclear missiles over here. For scene number 9, Alien King roaring in anger, commanding his forces. Let's copy this to runway, place it in, hit the generate button, and then let's scroll down so we have nuclear explosions across battlefields, obliterating alien forces. Let's go to Pika Labs, place it in, Pika Labs, and hit generate. Now, let's see the images that come from Leonardo and turn them into motion. Okay, so here I think I'm going to go ahead with this particular scene, turn it into motion. So there's our scene. You can see that it really turns it into a pretty good scene. Now let's download that. This is supposed to be scene number 8. I missed scene number 7. I'm going to go back and generate it, but I'm only going to show you how to generate how to put these scenes in their respective files, and I'll ask you to go ahead and do it yourself right now because you know the method is just a repeat process. And if I were to just keep showing you this on video, it's just going to add more to the video in terms of length unnecessarily, and it's going to make this course look bigger than it is. So I don't want to scam people, and I just want to provide you with pure videos where you just need, just knowledge, because I could have just made this video a 1-hour video for nothing. Now I'm going to download this. By the way, looks horrible, but it's pretty good. It's going to go really well in our movie. Now let's actually cut this back here, place it in. There you have it. Now, scene number 10. In Pika, it's an explosion. And it's a good thing that these scenes with the sound effects, they're going to make a lot of sense. And you're going to watch this firsthand. So let me copy this into scene number 10. Now I must have to go and add scene number 7. This is scientists and military preparing nuclear warheads. Let's go ahead and try to generate this with Leonardo. And like I said, this is pretty much it. Please go ahead and make sure you generate the rest of the scenes. And I'll see you in the next lecture, which is, by the way, the easiest lecture where we get to put everything together into one big movie. It's only 2 minutes, but it's a great movie. And by the way, you could use the same logic to create a 10-minute movie or whatever. Now, of course, you're going to consume a lot of tokens, I understand, but you don't get to create a movie with $30. People spend a lot of money for example, these types of scenes where there's an explosion happening. They used to spend a lot of money in the past on this stuff that we get to have for free now, right? So basically free. The cost is very low. So this is it for this video. Stay tuned for I'll see you in the next video and the last video of the course. Welcome into the era of AI. Hello there and welcome. In this lecture, we're going to go ahead and render the final video. Without further ado, let's get right into it. So go ahead and open up CapCut in your computer, click on Create Project, and then let's get started. So to make things easy for you, here's what I want you to do. I want you to actually select all of the files, just the files. No, actually, sorry. This has just opened. Okay, let me go back. I want to select these particular files. And I want to drag these files right over here directly into the CapCut editor. Now you can see all the files have now been dragged and dropped. They're not respectively sorted, so I'm going to sort them by name. And you can see that now they're sorted by name and from 1, 2, 3, 4. Now we're going to start with the first one. So the first one contains a scene as well as some sound effects. So access it. Drag both the scene and the sound effects, both right up here. You can see that the sound effect is not overwhelming, which is quite good. So we're going to go ahead and take the sound effect because it's quite heavy on the ear. We need to reduce those sound effects at least to the middle. So I'm going to reduce the sound effect like that. Let's listen. Yeah, this makes a lot more sense. Now click on all to go back to the files and then select S2. Now this one doesn't have any sound effects, so just drag the scene like this, and it should be in the same level as the cover. Now, once you drag a scene, go to transitions, and we're going to add one transition for all of them. The transition that we're going to add in this case is going to be a whoosh transition. So I'm going to click right here on transitions, click on blur, and there's these blurry transitions that are pretty cool, especially this one right here. So I'm going to go ahead and drag this transition here. Just place it so that it can be between every single scene. And then go at the end of this scene, zoom out quite a bit, and then click on import, click on all, scroll, and then go to scene number 3. And you want to drag this first, the scene itself, place it here. With that scene, we have two sound effects. The first one is a laser zap, place it here. The second one is an explosion. We're going to place both of them together, right, at the same level. Now, at the end of the explosion, there is empty sound, so I want you to select that and drag it across. And also reduce the impact of the explosion. And let's listen. We need to decrease the impact of the laser zap a bit, and I think we need to increase the explosion. Now let's listen up again. Let's listen up again. Yeah, that actually sounds good. Now let's move the needle here, click on all, and then I'm going to go to scene number 4. Repeat the process, place scene number 4 over here. It should be glued to the other scene, and then we should add the SFX that applies to it. At the end of the SFX, let's remove that extra part. Let's reduce the size of the SFX and let's listen. Yeah, that's more like it. Now here, when it comes to the transitions, go back and add the whoosh transition. Keep it the same, or you can just maybe add a different one from the same family. Move the needle back here and then go back to import, click on all. Now we're at 5, so add number 5. You should just place it there. Go back and click on all, and then go to number 6 this time. Place number 6. Here we have 6 effects. So I'm going to go to number 6. First off, add the first sound effect right here. Add the second sound effect right here. Add the third sound effect right here. And for each sound effect, we need to decrease the sound effect's size. And we need to listen up. And also reduce the sound effect length like this to fit. This one also, let's just reduce it to fit. This one also, let's just reduce it because the extra parts are just empty. And they're going to conflict with the other scenes. Now let's watch again. Yeah, this actually looks pretty cool. Except for I need to reduce these sounds just a tiny bit. The explosion a bit. And that's it. Now, let's go to the transitions. Add some transitions in between. Add another transition here. Click back on import. We're at 6 now, so go to all, click on 7. And similarly, let's add this scene here. It has a sound effect, so make sure you keep the magnet on. This is the sound effect. We need to decrease or actually cut this effect here. And at the end of the effect, I would like to click and fade it out so that at the end it fades it out. And make sure you reduce the size of the sound or the sound. Yeah, that's more like it. Now let's zoom out. Here, click on all to go back. Now it's scene number 8. So click on scene number 8, starting by adding the scene itself, zoom in a bit, and then drag the effect. This is an effect of a rocket ship, so we can put it there, but we have to resize it, scale it down in terms of the size, and also fade it out at the end to be natural. Yeah, and when you scale it out, it smoothens the sound at the exit. So it doesn't make it brutal. We call it brutal changes in videos. We don't want those. Now, scene number 9 now. So this one doesn't have any effect. Let's place it over here. And let's not forget the transitions. So click on transitions here. And then take some transition like a particles, like a blur, like a radial blur. And then go back to the import, click on all. And then I'm going to scroll down. Here we have S10. This one also has 2 sound effects. So let's place the scene. Place the first sound effect. Place the second sound effect. And then reduce each one of them slightly in terms of the volume. This one is a shock wave. Let's reduce it. And then let's make sure that the explosion sound effect is fit over there. Go back to the import option, click on all. Now we're at 11, so let's go to the 11th. Drag this scene here. Let's click here on all, go back. Now we're at 12. So let's go to 12, drag the scene number 12, place it there. Go to transitions at all times. Make sure you always keep adding transitions for the changes to be smooth from scene to scene. Just add these types of blurry transitions, zoom out. Go back to import. Now we're at 12. So let's go to number 13. Drag number 13, place it there. There's no sound. Go back. Now it's number 14. So go to number 14. Drag number 14. There's no sound again. And then go back to number 15. Drag number 15. There is no sound again. Now it's number 16. There is a sound here. So drag number 16. Make sure you drag the sound accordingly. Zoom in. And then make sure you actually reduce the sound. And let's not forget the transitions. Click on transitions, move, add some transitions between these scenes to make it look beautiful. And then put the cursor there, go back to import, click on all. Now we are at basically 17. So go to 17, drag the scene, click out, go to 18 now, drag the scene, zoom out, click on all. Now let's go to 19. 19, drag the scene. Let's go to 20. Where is 20? There it is. Drag the scene as well as the SFX sound effect that goes with it. Crop it, fade it out at the end, and then zoom, and then make it smaller in size. Put the needle there. Go to transitions. I'm going to add some transitions here. Whoosh, vertical blur, particles, bubble bar, and that's it. Now there's not much left. We're at 20 now, so there's only a couple left. 21, place the scene. Go back. Now it's 22, place the scene. Go back. Now it's 23, place the scene. Go back. Now it's 24, place the scene. And go back. Now it's 25. Plays the scene and go back. Now it's 26. Plays the scene and go back. And of course, make sure to always remember the transitions once you've added enough scenes so that you can make the process faster. So put this transition here, another one here, another one here, another one here, and another one here. And then let's click import. Now we're at 26. So obviously now we have to move to 27. Let's place this 27 scene, zoom out, move the needle here, click on all. Now it's 28. Put the 28, click on all, move to 29. This one obviously has a SFX, so let's place the scene Now let's cancel because I don't want to replace the clip. I want to place this new scene, and I want to place this audio with it, down below it, zoom in, reduce the size of the audio, and then go back, click on all. Now 29, so basically the only one left is the 30th, so that's the 30th, place it there, and go to the transitions, seal the transitions, particles, blur, radial blur, zoom out. Now let's add the voiceover. So this entire scene is 149 seconds, so I didn't expect that. So I'm going to go to the import option, click on all, click import. Our voiceover is 1 minute 30, so we have to slow it down in order for it to make some sense. So I'm going to go to Alien Movie, get the voiceover, and I would like to place the voiceover here. But you can see it doesn't fit the entire scene, but it's okay. Click on the voiceover, go to speed, and decrease the speed of this voiceover, or you can change it. So if it's 1 minute 49 seconds, so it's basically 99 seconds instead of 89. So put it at 99, and automatically it will fill. It's actually 109. I'm just bad at math. There it is. So now it makes sense. It's a bit slower, but let's listen.
In a distant future, Earth faces its greatest threat. The alien king, a titan of...
It's quite slow, but let's be honest. For this type of movie, it's actually good. And what you can do as well, if you want to go the other way around, if you don't want to slow the clips, you can actually select all of these effects and or select all of these and go and slow them down by, or slow the scenes down. But that's going to be very complex because if you slow the scenes down, you're going to have to adjust the sound effects. So I'd prefer to adjust the sound, make it slower, and that's it. So we've basically adjusted the sound. Now I'm going to click on the sound for once. Go to basic here, enhance the voice quality. This is a pro feature, but I'm going to do it. You can enhance the volume of your sound, but I'm not going to do that. And now let's go. Now we're not going to add any music to this, but let's go ahead and add some adjustment. So if I click on adjustment here, go to custom adjustment, drag a custom adjustment, and make sure that you take that custom adjustment and spread it all across. But first of all, we need to add a custom adjustment filter. So when you add the adjustment, add some temp, some tint, some saturation, some exposure, some contrast, some highlights, some shadows, some whites, less darkness, some brilliance, some sharpening, and some clarity, and a bit of fade, not fade actually, the vignette at about 20. There it is. And then you can expand upon this, move it back till the end. And you can see that right now it looks better. So just for comparison, look at the scene here. And if I actually were to add this, you can see that it just makes it a whole lot better. I also want you to take all of the scenes here and scale them a bit to hide that watermark of the runway ML. When we do this like this, make sure you select all the scenes at once so that when you enhance them in terms of the size, that disappears. And also now finally, I'm going to click on Effects, Glitch, and I'd like to go to the glitch effect, which is the glitch, this one. I'd like to drag it here and increase the size of that glitch to cover everything, so like this. And decrease the range, decrease the filters, decrease the speed, and that's pretty much it. You can see that now it looks great. The only thing left is the captions, so click on Captions. And we can generate AI captions with CapCut and choose a template. So if I generate, it's going to start generating some captions for us. The captions have been added. Make sure you keep them selected. And when you click on captions from here, you'll be able to see your captions. You can always select all of them by selecting all of them. Now, here it says in a distant future, Earth faces its greatest threat, the alien king, da-da-da. Make sure you read all of this to make sure there is no grammatical mistake. If there is any grammatical mistake, you can correct it like you were to correct anything. You can just select what you want to correct and write it again. And now select all of the captions because we want to apply a template to them. So select them, click on text, click on templates, and that's going to be it. So that's going to be our last thing that we're going to do before exporting this video, and we're going to watch it next lecture which is going to be the final lecture. So I'm going to pick this, but you can pick, actually, let's go and choose something cool. Now, there are pro and free templates for captions. There's a lot of pro templates and a lot of free templates as well. You can use free templates because if you use pro templates, you're not going to be allowed to export your project. I see there is a pretty good free template, which is going to suit perfectly for the video. I'm going to use it, so I'm going to click this one instead. And as you can see, it applies that template onto our video. And you can see how the captions are going to look like that. So they're looking quite fabulous. It's quite good, but it needs to be scaled a bit. So I need to reduce the size of the captions a bit. Also, I need to move them slightly here above. And when you do it for one of them, it does it for the rest of them as well. And you can see that now we have a video with captions. You can go ahead and click on export right here. And you can export this as a video. It's 1 minute 49 seconds. Go to the frame rate, 60 FPS. Select where you want to place this. I'm going to select the Alien movie file. And I'm going to actually name this Alien Movie CapCut Final. And I'm going to export, and that's pretty much it. See you in the next video in which we're going to render, or we're going to watch this entire video. Welcome into the era of AI. Hello and welcome back. In this lecture, we're going to actually preview the video that we have created. So let me go ahead and add some volume. Let's enjoy the movie that we have created right now. So let's go ahead.
In a distant future, Earth faces its greatest threat. The alien king, a titan obsessed with domination, leads an invasion force, unstoppable and merciless. The king of mankind rallies the last defenses. Alien titans wreak havoc on the ground. A fierce battle rages for control of Earth. Humanity's last hope. A nuclear counterstrike. A high-cost solution to push the aliens back. The alien king, furious and relentless. Destruction on a massive scale. The world scarred, but humanity survives. Hope rises from the ashes of war. But the alien king is not defeated. The human king fortifies Earth's defenses. Aliens develop new technology to conquer Earth. A stealth attack begins. But humanity is ready. A fierce ground battle ensues. The alien king grows desperate. The human king makes a final stand. The tides begin to turn. The alien king is finally defeated. Earth begins to rebuild. Humanity stands united. A new hope for the future. But vigilance remains. Alien remnants lurk in the shadows. The war may be over, but the fight for survival continues. The fate of Earth rests in the hands of those who dare to protect it. This is just the beginning of a new era.
All right, so what do you think about that? Because I really liked it. And I hope that you can go ahead and create something that looks like this. This is it for this video. Wishing you nothing but the best as always. Passive Income Gen Z, signing out.